Hitchcock had Psycho. Frank Capra had It's a Wonderful Life. And The Godfather was written by Francis Ford Coppola. Tarantino has Kill Bill. Welcome to Movie Theater Time Machine, the show where we keep it real to real. And this, we talk about Tarantino's masterpiece for the next few weeks. And my God, what a good one it's going to be. There's a lot we're going to have to deep dive into. I'm Nick.
I'm Kaz.
I'm Dan.
I'm Jess.
And welcome to the Martial Arts Deep Dive. And this movie is so damn important to me.
I love this movie so much.
Remember, kids, humans are 210% pressurized blood.
Let's get some trivias into this, but there was 450 gallons of blood in the House of Blue Leaves scene alone.
It took the same amount of time to film the House of Blue Leaves scene that it took to film the entirety of Pulp Fiction.
Yes. Yeah. 6 weeks.
Yep.
6 weeks. It was supposed to be 2.
Yep.
It's... You know, we've talked about Tarantino in the past, and Tarantino being sometimes maniacal, sometimes genius. Here, he's both.
It's like little column A, little column B.
He is both.
When we were watching this last night, it was really funny because I was like, oh good, my favorite part's coming up.
Yeah.
And he looked at me and I'm like, yes, the entire second half of this movie is my favorite part.
Oh, yeah. As soon as you see that and you hear the fight.
The second half of the first movie?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, like when you see the 5, 6, 7, 8s playing, and you're like, okay, now it's going to be great.
As soon as O-Ren starts, that's my favorite part of the movie.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And like that animation style that they did for her backstory.
Shit.
That feels to... Is it the same animation house that did Ghost in the Shell?
And The Matrix.
And the Animatrix.
Yes.
Okay.
Wasn't the Animatrix a bunch of different...
Yes.
Yeah.
But there were very specifically the anime section of the Animatrix. That's the other
Wasn't
thing.
there multiple?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Which short was it?
Yeah. I'm not entirely remembering it, but it's been a very long time myself. But
I have never seen the Animatrix, but I do know that there were multiple houses that did it.
Yeah.
Because there were some CGI bits and there were animation bits.
Yes. Yeah, and then it got very confusing.
Well, that's the majority of the Matrix.
Yeah, well, I mean, when the Wachowski sisters just kind of went crazy.
Yes.
At that point. Like, no, it could be deeper. Like, really?
And then how do we get the 4th Matrix movie? It's like, but BS.
Yeah.
BS.
Because money.
Yeah.
And this movie, speaking with money, actually has a budget of $30 million and grossed $180.9 million.
Well, I saw it like 3 times in theaters, so some of that's mine.
So did I.
It was a mild success.
Yeah, so did I. This actually, both films were filmed actually at the same time.
Well,
but, you know, with the elephant in the room with every Tarantino movie.
Well, were you like me, who the first time you watched it was like, what the fuck is her name? And then the second time you watched it was watching and looking at the screen going, what the fuck is her name?
Yeah.
I read it. I can read it. I know what her name is.
Yes, because like when you see it, you know it. Can we not say the name until next week?
Well, here's the thing. I didn't hear the name.
Yeah.
She said it, but I didn't hear the name at any point, but I also know that you can see her name on her airline tickets.
Yes, you can. Yeah, you can see it if you pause her at the right point, and also in the first fight scene where you see Vivica A. Fox, she very clearly lips it.
Oh, yeah.
You know, if you know.
And didn't O-Ren do it too?
Yes, she did.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah, she does.
Very, very clearly.
If you read lips, you can...
Yeah, you know what you're looking for.
Yeah.
So this movie stars Uma Thurman, who the movie was written for.
Yep, as the bride.
Yeah.
That is the first role that I...
She's U of Q and U.
Yeah. It was designed by Quentin and Uma. And Lucy Liu as O-Ren Ishii, half Chinese, half Japanese.
Oh god, that
half
rap
American.
Was awful.
Yeah.
It was a terrible rap.
Yeah, actually, we should briefly get into it. Like Kaz and I briefly did a thing. We called it I called it the O-Ren challenge. where on the soundtrack there's a rap from RZA of the Wu-Tang Clan, who did the majority of the music and Foley.
Yeah.
But he does this ode to Oranishi.
Oh dear.
At some point, I will play part of it because no, it's Ishii, yes, but he calls it Oranishi. Yeah. And
that's me hitting my forehead.
Yeah, and so we tried to listen to it as much as we can without stopping it.
Yeah.
And
must have only done that once.
Yeah, I think we did. Like, we didn't go too much into it because it does get very painful.
Like I know, like RZA specifically, and like most of.
I know you're saying RZA, but I keep hearing you say Rizzo.
RZA and most of like Wu-Tang.
Oh my god! If it was Rizzo from MASH. Oranishi. Just trying to hip. Hell and all that. I don't need your hip.
Good lord.
I know that, like, just that whole, like, the entirety of Wu-Tang are just so into
very much
kung fu movies.
Oh my god!
And, all that. Yeah.
What is their name?
Wu-Tang. Yes, the Wu-Tang Clan. Yeah. It's for the children.
Yeah. So. Yeah. So you have the.
I thought most of the music in this movie was just various sources, like Green Hornet theme. You got the 5, 6, 7.
Yes,
like there was.
Or you talk about the background.
He did the Foley, so the sword sounds and things.
Well, those are very good.
And he did a lot. He did a lot of it to be able to really produce that. Mm-hmm. So you have the great David Carradine as Bill.
I'm sorry. Every time I can't. I'm so sorry, and I'm sorry to him and yes, I know. I'm sorry to him and his family and everything else, but I can't not chuckle. I know that's terrible of me.
Is that how she ultimately kills Bill?
Oh no. Okay. And remember, Dan has not seen Kill Bill Volume 2, so he does not know anything about the wrap up of this movie. Okay, so.
Yeah.
I know I was looking at the trivia from Volume 1, and I very specifically tried to skip anything that referenced Volume 2, but I do know one thing is you never actually see David Carradine's face in either of them.
That's not true.
Nah.
That's what the trivia say.
Well, it's wrong.
It's wrong.
Yeah.
You don't in the first movie.
In the first movie, you don't.
Yeah.
And not until probably the end of the second, but it's been a long time.
That's not true.
Yeah.
Oh, it isn't? I can't remember much.
It's okay. But
I just remember fish flopping on the carpet.
You just wanted to,
That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah.
So I just want to back.
It's a poignant story.
Yeah. So
is that like a fish in a percolator?
You'll see.
You'll see.
That's more of a. That's more of a Twin Peaks thing.
A sandwich.
So
okay.
I just want to back up a little bit, just on the point of contention. I mean, if you haven't seen this, sorry, we're going to spoil
You're
it.
Missing it.
But they're all a part of the Deadly Viper Assassination Squad, and known as the deadliest woman in the world. So the bride is Black Mamba.
Well, there's also that guy, Bud.
Yeah, well, it's the deadly. It's supposed to be deadly international Viper.
Yeah,
and
I'm getting to him. So Oren Ishii is Cottonmouth. David Carradine as Bill is the Snake Charmer. We have Vivica A. Fox as Vernita Green. And now it's Copperhead.
Yep.
And Michael Madsen as Sidewinder.
Mr. Blonde.
Yeah. So Daryl Hannah is California Mountain Snake.
California Mountain Snake, yep.
And we'll go on with some of the sub-characters a little later.
Ellie
Driver.
Ellie Driver.
Yeah. And, now, I gotta back up a little bit with,
And the bride is back. Black Mamba.
Yeah. Vivica A. Fox. I met Vivica A. Fox twice. Okay.
And now she does terrible Christmas movies on Ion.
Yeah. Now, Vivica A. Fox, I've always got to laugh with this because she's a former member of the Deadly Viper Squad, now living as a mother and homemaker under the name Jeannie Bell. She is the second target of the bride after Oren Ishii. So
this isn't exactly. It's mostly chronological, but the first half isn't.
There's a reason why that's a little bit reversed. Yeah.
My question is, what did the bride do with the pussy wagon while she was in Tokyo?
Oh, it's
Who knows?
We find out what happens to it, but you don't find out until movie 2.
Or if you're watching this on network television, the party wagon.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Can I add that one too? Because it's like I watched this with my dad, and when we watched this on TBS, and he's like, "Oh, hey, he's like, you like this movie, right? You saw it a couple times." I'm like, "Yeah, okay, I'll sit and watch it with you." Sure, Dad. Okay, we have nothing to do. And, then the scene comes up when, they're in the coma ward, and we'll get into that a little bit more. And the character of Buck, who is, Buck, who likes to fuck, who's here to fuck.
He's got it on his knuckles.
Yeah, and, it's Buck, and she goes, "It's Buck, and you like to party." and it just, I'm like, no. And then she goes,
like, do you have 6 fingers so you can fit party on all of those? So you edit that in?
You like to party. And it's just very clearly, it's like a very bizarre dub of an old 30s movie. They know they're probably never going to see it again. It's very clearly not the actress they're dubbing. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, oh, this is not good. And
I just think of the
I don't know how they would be able to put this on television.
Yeah. Well, they cut a lot of it out. And like the next thing you see, it's like, okay, she slams the door, nothing is seen, and then she's rolling out in a wheelchair, and then you see the wagon, and it's very clearly edited as party wagon.
Yeah, because the edit kind of wobbles.
Yeah, and I'm like, no.
Did they use the same font, which I believe is called Action Is?
Yeah, they did.
Yeah.
It's just kind of wobbling there.
I don't.
Yeah, it was
like when they edit Underpants onto Goku in the original Dragon Ball.
Yeah, it was. So I stopped it. I'm like, I turned the TV up. I'm like, no. Okay, I'm like, Dad, I'm going to go home. I'm going to get the DVD. I'm going to come back, and I'm going to show you what it really is.
Yeah.
Because I don't know what the heck they didn't edit. And, you probably saw, like, the Crazy 88 scene, which probably had 42, which is what it really was.
It's like trying to watch Pulp Fiction on TV.
Yeah.
How?
Yeah. Yeah.
Action Is.
Yeah.
It's the war. It's the Wallets is bad mother flower.
Yeah. No.
Bad mother flower.
Yeah. They did say that.
Oh.
Well, now I'm just thinking of that podcast with Hello from the Magic Tavern when they have the guest Flower on. Yeah. She's kind of a badass.
They don't give a shit. Yeah.
For, a flower.
So, Vivica A. Fox. I met Vivica A. Fox twice. And I was going to New York, and she stayed at the same hotel I was at. And I could say now because it's 13 years ago at this point.
Yeah.
I were at the call center making hotel reservations, the one Dan and I worked at. Mm-hmm. And I get this, little flash on the screen when you had somebody's membership number come on. It says Vivica A. Fox. I'm like, huh? Okay. I'm like, hi, Miss Fox, how can I help you? This is Nick from SPG. I could say it now, what the hell. It's like, oh, hi, yes. I'm like, can you hold on 1 second? Like, grab the supervisor from behind me. I'm like, I got Vivica A. Fox, actually. Can I take this? And there's one dude like, here, you can give the call to me. I'm like, no, go away. I got this. And I'm like, okay. I'm like, go take your weird boner back to your desk. I don't care. So I talk with her. She's very nice. And, we go ahead, get the room. It's no real big issue. She's really super nice. And the only thing I could think of is I really wish you didn't die in Kill Bill. It's like, thanks.
She doesn't last very long either.
She lasts like one full scene.
Yeah, like, thanks.
Question mark?
That's very sweet of you. And I happened to be at the same hotel, did not stalk her, but happened to be at the same hotel, saw her in the lobby, and I said, I wish you didn't die and jump out.
Oh my god, are you trying to be creepy and weird?
And it just came out of there. My supervisor's laughing her ass off at this point. And, there's a strict rule, like, if you see celebrities, don't refer to them by their characters, like, treat them as normal
people. Treat them as a person.
Now, this is the same supervisor who bumped into Neil Patrick Harris while crossing the street, turned and said, "You're Doogie Howser."
Oh my god.
And you're just like, yeah, I love that reference.
See, you can't be like me. Don't be like me.
Yeah.
Okay, because if you're like me, you freeze and run away.
And you go and hide, in a clothing rack.
In a clothing rack, because that's what I do. If I see someone that I really like, I run away. Yeah. That's what I do, because apparently I get starstruck. It's what happens to me. My brother is completely chill, and he's like, "Oh, hey, you're so-and-so, right? That's really cool. What are you doing here? Oh, that's awesome." He's completely chill. I am not. Christopher, 100%
find yourself in that situation, though.
I have found myself in that situation a few times. Christopher has found himself in that situation way more than me.
Huh.
And Christopher is my complete opposite. I love my brother very much. He is completely opposite of me, and he is completely chill. No qualms. Me, I am like, huh? It's ridiculous. So don't be me. Be Christopher. Don't be me. Apparently don't be me.
Yeah, don't be me either. I mean, I have met a couple other celebrities since then, and I have been way more composed. A lot more composed, and I'm like, okay.
Apparently I have to learn to be chill.
Yeah, but that's just the one with Vivica A. Fox that is the funniest goddamn thing, and I'm like, why did I say that?
Because you became me.
I did.
Apparently. Nick and I are very, very on point, and we vibe a lot. So this is not surprising at all. Oh, Lord.
No. Yeah, you're right.
It's true.
Yeah. So the movie here starts. It's 1999, and just want to back up a bit here because the movie was released in 2003. Yep. Tarantino spent an enormous amount of time writing this. It shows.
Yeah.
There are so many references here, and so many different things, like, that are very, very meticulously chosen, like I talked about last week with my favorite Bruce Lee movie being Game of Death. Yep. And they chose the bride's look from Game of Death. I will tell you, I had very confusing feelings. And then I'm like, when you see Uma Thurman there, like, oh, damn. Then you watch like Game of Death again, like, oh.
You know what's really funny, too, is I mentioned this while we were watching it. Yeah. Dan and I have recently watched, Stranger Things. Yep. And in Stranger Things, Uma Thurman and Ethan Hawke's daughter is a character in Stranger Things.
She plays Robin.
Mm-hmm. And Robin, their daughter, is, I think she's only like 19 or 20.
They had to delay the beginning of filming of this because Uma Thurman was pregnant.
Uma Thurman was pregnant, so she had just given birth.
Yeah.
And then started filming this.
To Maya Hawke, who is now in Stranger Things.
Who is now in Stranger Things. Who is now starring in Stranger Things.
She's one of the best characters, too.
Yes. We had some old math last night thinking about when we saw this. I'm like, oh, I think it was 2006. I'm like, no. Oh, it was 2003. Yeah. Like, oh, God, no. I hate bringing this up like this, but I was 21 years old when this came out. And Uma Thurman had just given birth when she started filming this. Right. So think about that. Yeah. And think about the action scenes and everything else that are in this movie. It's amazing if you think about that, and that she had just given birth. Right.
How much of her own stunts did she do, though?
She did all of them.
Oh, because I did see like a stunt double listed.
Yes, but she did most of her own stunts. She did a shit ton of training for these films.
There's we'll bring it up next week, but actually there is an incredible stunt that went very wrong.
Oh yeah.
That's only been known recently because
There's a good reason. There's a really good reason why she and Quentin Tarantino are no longer on speaking terms.
Yeah.
And it has to do with a car accident.
Yeah, and also Harvey put a whole bunch of money to try to bury it. Yeah. Yeah.
And that is, it has to do with the next film. It doesn't have to do with this one. It's the next one.
Yeah. And, where it started, where he started to build it, he started writing this in 1997. And then finished everything with writing in 2001, and then held off a little while before he got everybody together. But he automatically said, no, I have to do this for Uma. There's a lot of references to Pulp Fiction that are very, very, very slight. I didn't really even notice some of them until last night.
I just thought it was really funny that Red Apple Cigarettes, there's a poster for Red Apple Cigarettes in the background, which I laughed at because I was like, ha! Red Apple Cigarettes, and I pointed to the wall because anybody who's actually been in this house knows that there is a Planet Terror poster on my wall. And Planet Terror is one of my favorite movies of all time. And it's a very, very prominent, thing in Planet Terror.
And you didn't catch the other one then, did you?
Which one?
Who the sheriff is.
Oh, absolutely. Son number one? Oh, yeah, I did.
Yeah.
I knew that already.
Planet Terror isn't a Tarantino movie.
No,
but it's in the universe.
The Grindhouse series, and Tarantino is in it.
He may not have directed, but he was involved pretty heavily.
Yeah, we know he was in it. You know what I'm talking about.
His cameo in that movie is more obvious than this.
And it's actually part of the world.
Yeah.
It's actually part of the same world.
It is. So, it is part of the world. There's a couple other bits in the universe. One of them is more prominent next week.
Yep.
But it's still, they're all very connected. It's not just Kahuna Burgers in this one.
No.
Kind of funny, though, is David Carradine was not the first choice either.
No. I remember seeing, oh crap, who was it?
Yeah.
I cannot remember.
Bruce Willis.
Was he?
Oh. Yeah.
I don't know if that would have fit as well, though.
No.
I don't think it would have.
Nope.
No.
No, Bruce Willis, and it would have been bad.
Yeah.
Bruce Willis, dick.
Yeah, it would have been bad. Don't worry, he won't remember it.
Oh, ouch.
Yeah, I said it. Fuck it.
Wow. Fucking wow. That's awesome.
I've been saving my voice a lot, so I got a lot to say today. So,
all right.
So it's 1999. We have a pregnant woman in a wedding dress, known as the bride, who lies on the ground of the chapel of El Paso, Texas.
And it's black and white.
And her attacker is over her, and it's Bill. Yeah. Well, no. She says, "Well, Bill, it's your baby."
Kablam.
Before he does the coup de grace on her.
He said, "This is my most masochistic."
You think of me as a masochist. This is me at my most masochistic. Mm-hmm. And it just...
Which 21-year-old Joss really didn't pick up on. I want to say that right off the bat. Yeah. I didn't catch a lot of the nuances when I first saw this.
Yeah, I was very happy to hear David Carradine's voice when I first saw this, because I went in blind and I watched the hell out of Kung Fu. So hearing that, I'm like, oh, that's so cool. And I'm like, okay, perfect casting on that one. 4 years later, the bride, having survived everything, goes and is now in a hospital. In a coma, but having survived the attack, she goes to the home of Verta Green. And planning to kill her, both women members of the Deadly Vipers, which has since disbanded. Verta Green is now a suburban home life woman. They engage in a knife fight, which is interrupted before why her daughter Nikki comes home.
The school, they're just poised to attack each other, and they're sweaty and bloody and gross. And there's a school bus.
Barney did all this?
Nikki. What I find funny about Nikki is I have a niece whose name is Nikki.
Yep.
Who is biracial.
Yep. Oh, well, alright.
So... Yeah. The minute I see a little girl who's walking in, whose name is Nikki, who is biracial, my immediate reaction was, oh fuck. Okay. So
I wonder though if dull surprise is appropriate in the case of what happens.
I mean, the kid's kind of like, what is going on? You could I think you could call it dull surprise.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if it was dull surprise or just complete and utter shock.
But it's also...
I know dull surprise is a criticism lobbed at various expressions that characters in various media make or the absence of.
But I think it's kind of related to the animated where Ora Onishi is underneath the bed and she sees her father die.
Well,
and she has like dull eyes too, of just like what the hell's happening.
She gets wicked emotional, but she restrains like when the whisper escapes and she stuffs it back in her mouth.
Yeah,
that's actually amazing. I thought that was an amazing art.
But you think
that was awesome?
You think Nikki's also holding back now?
I think it's not as visible, and
is that going to be volume 3, like Nikki's Revenge?
That's the only thing I could think of.
Yeah. Well, there's many. Tarantino right now is because this is the scene that is going to spawn that theory of, I guess when she kills her. And says, I'm sorry, but if you feel when you grow up,
you gotta specify who's who.
Yeah, I'm going to, but I'm just kind of briefly getting it, but I'll get into it more.
Well, when the bride kills, if you're still raw about it.
Yeah, if you grow up and you're still raw about it, come find me. I'll be waiting. And that statement alone is what made do Kill Bill 3. But Tarantino also has dropped a lot of hints as well.
You can't really call it Kill Bill, though, because of I Can't Say.
Yeah, right. But, I mean, it's still like, what...
it could be an artifact title.
Yeah, but still, the way, and all of his movies are in the same universe, so...
Volume 3 just killed Bill.
Yeah. There's still so much, because he alludes to the fact that he... the quote is also a variation of a Klingon phrase. Revenge is at the beginning.
Dish best served cold.
Right, best served cold, and so he alludes
old Klingon proverb.
But he alludes to the fact that he might do a Star Trek movie as his last movie. At the time of recording this, Tarantino has done 9 films.
Dan's making a face right now, like what the actual fuck.
Yeah. I have my own likes and dislikes with the Abrams verse. There's far too much lens flare, but I don't need an entire movie focused on Uhura's feet.
Okay.
Right.
Okay, just no.
Plus, it's going to be really hard to do Chekhov.
Yeah, true.
Oh, well.
Yeah.
With Anton gone, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, so, I mean, he's alluded to the fact that he might do a few more things, but it's also that at the time of recording this, Tarantino has done 9 movies.
Yes.
And he said he will do 1 more and he's done.
And he's done,
He's done with it. Also, if you do the count as well, you kind of think he's already done 10 movies, so to speak.
Yeah.
But, you're stretching it a bit, although there is a thing that's said in interviews and documentaries to not call Kill Bill 1 and 2 as 2 separate movies. Because he refers to it as 1. Because there is actually...
It's Volume 1 and Volume 2.
Yeah.
It's not,
But there is Tarantino has a personal copy of an edit of both movies together. And it's 250 minutes in total that he has loaned out to
See, I have a problem watching them separate.
Yeah.
Because I prefer watching them together.
Yeah.
I don't like watching them separate. So when we stopped watching it, I had the urge to watch the second one.
You gotta take your Sonic and Knuckles cartridge and pull the top off, and then cram your Sonic 3 cartridge.
Really hard.
Yeah.
It was really difficult for me not to start the second one.
It is
so hard for me to stop. Because I was like, I
agree.
want to watch the second one.
Yeah, because I mean, Kaz and I, when we originally saw this was I think it was the last VHS I ever rented from Blockbuster. And I remember going back, listening to the ending, and we're like, oh my god, and the movie theater we went to had their new thing where they could order tickets on the website.
Oh god.
Gray hair in my beard, yeah.
I was fucking pissed. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
I walked out of the theater. You don't understand. I saw when I saw the first one, I was with my ex and two of my, at the time, best friends. We saw the movie. I stood up in the theater and I went, "Are you fucking telling me I have to wait 2 years for the next fucking film?" And my friend Brent at the time literally said...
Yeah, we saw it the next day.
No, I saw it like the first day it came out.
Yeah, me too.
And my friend Brent stood up and said, "Shut up." And I went, "No!" I was so angry.
Oh, the second movie we saw right out it was premiering the next day.
At least you didn't backhand a 14-year-old.
Yeah. I did not backhand a 14-year-old.
That was had nothing to do with Quentin Tarantino. When I went to see Kingdom of the Crystal Skull.
Yeah.
Which, as far as I'm concerned, there are still only 3 Indiana Jones movies.
There's a 5th one coming out very soon.
There are 3 Indiana Jones movies. We saw that movie, and the way that movie ends, I was just kind of standing there going, "What?"
Yeah.
And what? And I'm just like, I talk with my hands. I'm half Portuguese. It happens. And there was just a kid leaving the theater with her dad, and I went, "What?" I literally just smacked this poor girl right in the side of the head.
Oh shit!
While I was just like, "What? Oh God, I'm sorry." And she's like, "Whoa, Jesus!" Oh God!
I was a very upset person when I realized that I had to wait 2 years for the next one to come out.
Oh, he also pushed it.
I know. But I was still.
He had a lot of pressure to release it because everybody knew it was already filmed.
Why wait that fucking long?
Yeah.
Because anticipation and money.
Yeah, but he was also he was in the he also was paid by Merrimack, so Weinstein was also the one who was in charge of
You also have to, you got to wait for people to actually see the movie if they like it.
Yeah.
Then anticipation and more money.
It used to be what, a year, 6 months for VHS to come out?
Yeah. Usually a year. I mean, it used to be longer.
At times,
it used to be almost a year and a half before a movie would come out. It would come out for rent about 9 months later, and then to purchase that movie, it would take almost a year and a half before you could buy it.
Barbarism.
Yeah.
God, we don't.
This is gonna sound like I was a wicked cinephile.
Yeah.
And I used to be that. I actually wrote college papers on this. I know, what a shock, right?
Yeah, I'm interested.
Cinephile. Weirdly enough, you do a podcast about movies.
Right?
Yeah.
Who saw that coming?
But, I used to, I would actually go to Blockbuster and buy the rentals from them because they were made with more quality film and better tapes.
Yeah.
Because you would actually get more play out of them.
Yeah.
Because they actually cost about $80 to make per tape, which is why if you broke them, you would actually have to pay more for them because they were made to be played way more than if you bought them from like a Walmart or anything else, because that's how they were made.
Yeah, wasn't that also to the success of Blockbuster because they could buy more and then the VHS was more expensive anyway?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The other thing too is that that when DVD and stuff started coming out, they sped up the process because they were cheaper to make.
Yeah.
So
DVDs wicked expensive though?
They were at first, but
because like a rich people thing.
But because they were cheaper to make and they started mass producing them faster, they realized that, okay, we can get these out faster and quicker.
And you don't have to rewind them.
And you don't have to rewind them. So everything started getting cheaper because, plastic is, a lot cheaper.
Yeah.
People started getting DVD players over VHSs. Time changes. Yeah. Computers started getting better. And they realized that, and I'm going to quote a little bit of Tropic Thunder here.
Have you been talking to me this whole time?
They porn-backed DVD over the laser discs.
Yeah.
So, and you always, whatever porn backs is what everybody else is going to back.
HD DVD, they went with Blu-ray, so Blu-ray won.
Yeah.
Yeah, so...
it's a result of why we have faster internet now.
Yep. Yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
Internet is for porn.
So, I mean, that's... everything started coming out faster, and it's the truth of the matter is, instant gratification always wins.
Yeah. And that really parlayed the success
people
of
should
this.
strive for efficiency.
Yeah.
And now because of the pandemic...
Yeah.
You know, you can watch a movie that's coming out in theaters on HBO Max.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Are they still doing that, though?
Yeah, oh yeah.
Some of
movies.
them.
Not,
some of
not
them,
everything.
not all.
Yeah. But, you know, there is, like, we saw at the time, you know, slightly before recording this, we saw the Bob's Burgers movie.
Oh, yeah.
In theaters. But now that they've done that, because they sat on it for so freaking long, you know, because of the pandemic and because of the problems, and then Disney decided to release it. You know, it's okay, fine, just release the stupid movie, and released it the same exact week as Top Gun.
Dumbasses.
And I'm like, it's going to... That movie is really, really good.
The summer blockbuster thing is sort of a thing of the past now.
Yeah, it's gone. Yeah.
Just like the Christmas movie thing is sort of the thing of the past now. They sort of base the big movies around Halloween.
Yeah.
Halloween time. They base them around what's known as prime time.
Right.
Prime time is usually in February, right around where the seasons start to end. Seasons usually start to end around February, March.
By seasons, do you mean like television?
Television seasons.
Oh, okay. I wasn't sure if you meant like the weather's changed. Spring is coming.
Yeah.
Television seasons.
Okay.
They usually base movies around that time, too. So it's usually February, March, or April is when they'll start doing the big movies.
I know January was like the dumping ground for every piece of crap.
Yeah, and it still kind of is. You'll see a lot of kids' movies come out.
Right at the start of summer.
Start of summer.
Yeah, right, yeah.
And at the beginning of the year.
Yeah.
When kids go on vacation.
Yeah. No, it's a perfect segue back into the movie because when Nikki comes home, it's probably some of the funnier things, like when you see like the knives, they're pointing at each other.
Yep, and then
but where they look at, but they're looking at each other, and also
you get the camera from the kid's point of view, looking up at them, like why are they sweating?
Just before that, you know, where they're like pointing the knives at each other, then you know Vivica A. Fox giving Uma Thurman the look of like, do you mind? Like, can we
just pause this for a minute?
Yeah.
Oh crap!
Yeah. My kid's
my
here.
Weakness.
Yeah.
Also, I want to point out that they both, and this is something that irked the fuck out of me.
Yeah.
They both wipe the blood off the knives.
Yeah.
Okay? This is good.
Yeah.
Because it's showing respect to your weapon.
Yep.
There's something that Oren does that Dan knows because it pissed me right the fuck off.
You don't
she
do that.
does not show respect to her weapon.
Right.
Huh? Oren, during the scene when she cuts off the head of the Yakuza boss.
Takashi?
Yes. No, it's
Tanaka?
Tanaka.
Yeah.
Tanaka. Sorry.
When she cuts off his head, she runs across the table. Takes
the table barefoot.
I mean, hey,
there's a lot of bare feet.
But
in her socks.
She's in her socks. Yeah, that's fine. She's not wearing shoes. It's fine.
Yeah.
Whatever. You're inside. It's okay. You don't wear shoes.
Yeah, it's like tabby socks.
It's fine. She's not wearing. She's inside. She's not wearing shoes. It's Japan. It's okay.
Yeah.
But she takes out the katana. She cuts off his head. There's blood on her weapon. She does the swipe, but there's still blood on her sword.
Yeah.
And she she resides it.
Yeah.
There's still blood on her sword.
Yeah.
You do not do that.
Yeah.
You are showing disrespect to your weapon.
Yeah, you run it across the holder as well before you bring it back in.
You clean your weapon before you
holster it?
Yes,
yeah.
do
before
that.
You holster,
Sheath. Okay,
yeah, you sheath it.
Yeah.
You do not do that. It is so disrespectful to your weapon.
What's she gonna wipe it on?
I don't care.
No, it's just
your sleeve.
when you wipe it, you run it across the sheath for it, but it runs across the sleeve and across the base of the weapon to wipe it off the blade, and then you push it back in.
Well, yeah, because once you get blood in that,
it doesn't go out.
It doesn't. No.
Yeah, you can't clean
it. It does not go out. Yeah.
It's a it's like a warrior code thing.
Yeah. No.
It's completely disrespectful to the weapon.
Yeah.
I don't care.
It shows that Oren does not have the proper respect for her weapon.
So, I mean, for someone who's had several katanas, including my own Hattori Hanzo swords, from the mall.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. It's still annoying to me.
Yeah.
And but the two of them both wipe off their blades.
Ooh.
Dan's showing his katana.
This one's from Last Samurai.
Yeah.
It's the replica of the one Tom Cruise had in Last Samurai.
Beautiful. That's just beautiful. There's so many things about that. Like when we get to the swords later, that I was drooling.
Yes.
Later,
I was too.
You see those, you're like, oh my god, those are gorgeous.
They had very nice foley.
There's just something about there's something about katanas that are just beautiful.
When they, when you see a nice one, but especially when you get one when you unsheath and you hear a little bit of a sing that, it's like, oh god, that's great.
It's so nice.
Yeah. But especially when you get one where part of it's made of bamboo too, because it makes a different sound. It's like, it's great.
But anyway,
now. Talking about the katanas, the baseball thing, when he throws the baseball and it gets cut in half, that actually happened. They did that. And do you know who actually cut the baseball in half? Uma Thurman's stunt double, Zoe Bell.
Yes! Fucking love Zoe Bell. She's so awesome. Yeah. I love her so much. Okay.
That was the name I saw in the credits.
No, it is. It's prominent at the end. Yeah.
Okay, before I forget, I just gotta say this movie uses so many goddamn fonts for its chapter scenes, the credits. It's like, okay, that's kind of not good graphic design.
Graphic design is my passion.
You shouldn't be. I don't know if it's different from movies, but I know in print media you don't want a flyer where every goddamn line is a different fucking font. It's cluttered. It's not good for conveying information. So.
It didn't have copperplate.
Good.
Yeah.
Copperplate Gothic has the most ugly ass 1s and 5s ever. Do you need all them serifs? They're grotesque.
I'm sorry, I'm just smiling over Zoe Bell.
Just use papyrus or everything. It's fine.
Zoe the cat.
I think I'll just
I'm such a Zoe Bell fan. I really am. I love her so much.
So the bride agrees. When they calm down and Mommy, what happened? Yo, dumbass dog did all this.
She's like,
Barney did
this? And I'm just thinking,
what? Over the goddamn place.
I'm just like, what fucking kind of dog do they have?
Yeah, right, yeah.
It's like, why don't you be like a fucking Pomeranian or something, Maybe
those things are evil.
I'm not saying they're not. I'm just saying.
Spoken as somebody who has a Chihuahua, Pomeranians are evil.
Yeah.
Probably a lab with a stupid tail that doesn't know when to stop.
I'm just thinking of the Pomeranian from Blade 3, the one that has the jaw that unhinges.
It's basically
Triple H.
The jaw that unhinges. It's
How's it called?
Fizzgig from Dark Crystal.
Mm-hmm.
Oh god, I haven't seen Dark Crystal in 15 years.
I could see that. In my opinion, I think it's like a. I don't know. I would picture a basset hound would come in and just come in look up and what?
But no, we never get to see the dog.
16-year-old blind.
Just
blind.
A blind.
I don't know.
A 16-year-old blind, deaf basset hound with a colostomy bag.
Right?
Your dog got in. What?
Poor dog.
I'm sorry.
What?
I'm sorry, Mom.
It was Spike from Tom and Jerry in a cartoon fight.
I'm so happy.
I didn't do all this. Did I? So who knows? So they calm down. They're going to have some coffee for a little bit.
Which
talk.
She still remembers how she takes her coffee, too. She even asked her, you still take cream and sugar.
Yeah.
It's like,
because for a little while, they were friends.
You know how she takes her coffee.
It's nice. It's a nice indirect show don't tell way of talking about their relationship in the past.
Right.
Yeah. And
gets you wondering what the fuck happened between them, kind of. Yeah. Well, actually,
I fucked you over.
You know, that they had at least a cordial sort of.
Yeah. Makes you wonder what on earth turned them against her.
Bill.
Well.
Yeah, but I mean, like, how much power does Bill have? Over the two of them.
Yeah,
you know,
or all of them.
All of them. Yeah.
Bill seems to have them all like ridiculously like gaslit. Like even like
seriously,
just like the few seconds we see of Bud at one point, he seems like he's kind of off.
That's right. Dan does not know the relationship between Bill and Bud.
I don't even remember.
It seems like it's just a few seconds we see of Bud. He's got that whole kind of. Yeah, I guess we kind of had this coming.
Yeah.
That
we kind of
deserves her revenge, and we deserve to die.
Yeah, it's like, well, why?
I know.
That's cool.
I wonder what made him change his mind later and come to regret it, especially coming from an assassin.
Oh, what the hell is it?
Well, that's why his name is he's the snake charmer,
what the hell is the name? What the hell's the name on the grave?
Lowly grave of Paula Schultz.
Paula Schultz. There we go.
Yeah.
Dan doesn't. Dan's looking at me like I'm crazy. Okay.
Yeah,
Wait till the second movie.
Yeah.
Ellie Driver seems to be in love with Bill.
Yeah.
And also, what's her face? The French lady at the end.
Sophie Fatale.
Sophie,
Yeah. They seem to have like a, I don't know, is he like their pimp kind of?
It's like a harem.
Yeah. He does kind of have like a Hugh Hefner-esque type feel.
Here's the deal. Here's the thing I caught from Bill anyway. I think
he
that
rubs his sword a lot.
Yeah. Well, it was definitely it was definitely sort of masturbatory. That's for definite.
Yeah, he's talking to Ellie. And
the thing I got from and click and click and click, and isn't it supposed to be like if you unsheath your sword, be prepared to use the goddamn thing?
Yes.
Maybe he's got a fiddle
playing with it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Maybe he's well, he doesn't sound like the nervous type that would need to play
No,
with
he
something.
needs like a fidget spinner or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
I have one.
I know you do. No, the thing I always caught about the whole Bill, the bride, Elle sort of hierarchy is that the bride was always number one.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
And that Elle was always number two.
Yep.
Always number two.
Right.
And was not necessarily in that sort of relationship.
Yeah.
Until the bride left.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then she got promoted to that relationship.
Yeah.
And you can sort of tell that, especially with what happened with the relationship with, the hell was the master's name?
Jaime?
Jaime.
Yeah.
In the second movie.
Well, the Hattori Hanzo relationship too. It kind of shows there's some problem,
right?
Where it alludes to it, and all that's the genius of the writing of this movie. Is all you had. You didn't even have any words. Mm-hmm. And that one in the scene later where he's like, considering the student, I say you have a very strong obligation.
Yeah. And
all he does is write Bill on the window pane, and I'm like, okay, that's fucking awesome.
Yeah.
That's fucking awesome. When we get to that scene, I got more of it later. But
I got fantasy casting.
Yeah. No, I have one fantasy casting I have not said a word for, but except in the video casting I did last night, I had an idea from the credits. So Vernita has pistol hidden in the cereal box. Very funny.
Well, they're discussing about having a showdown
because she's like, basically at first she's trying to use like manipulation to.
I beseech you for my daughter.
For my beseech. Who uses beseech?
Yeah. You're going to parading your little daughter around.
I had a daughter. She would have been about 4 years old too.
So I'm thinking in my head, it's like, wait, if we're doing the math here. That would have been, like, at that particular scene, she would have been basically pregnant.
Yeah. At that time. Yeah.
She would have been pregnant.
Fuck around with
I didn't even think about that.
You gotta think about it. Like,
holy shit, yeah.
She would have been pregnant showing up to kill the bride.
Yeah.
Newly pregnant.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. She may not even have known.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Damn, I didn't even think about that.
I was wondering, is Nikki Bill's daughter?
Yeah.
Maybe?
That's what That's what just occurred to me.
It's possible.
Yeah.
It's entirely possible.
Well, I mean, she
could have met Dr. Bell later.
Yeah, Vernita Green, I mean, is, was had an alias.
Because I kept looking in the background to see pictures of her husband and her family. Yeah. Because you don't actually see what her husband looks like.
Right.
No.
So.
Yeah, she was living under the name Jeannie Bell.
Right, and it's Dr. Bell who was her husband.
Yeah.
So I kept looking in the background for pictures, for family, for anything. Yeah.
I didn't even think about that. God dang, that's just.
You're welcome.
Wrinkle my brain.
You're welcome.
Yeah, but they agree to go ahead. They're gonna go ahead and fight at the baseball diamond where she at night where she coaches Little League, and really just holding that persona. And I mean, beautiful Tarantino writing where you don't even have to hear a lot about it in order to know more about the character. All you gotta do, okay, they got it, but she hides a pistol
in the cereal box.
In the cereal box.
The cereal box that's called Kaboom.
Yeah.
By the way. I want to point that out. The cereal is called Kaboom.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
I also want to point out, and this is what I told Dan too, I'm like, you can definitely tell that she's not going to have any accuracy.
No.
Because you can't see the pistol. So it's not like she can actually point and aim with this thing. She can just go in the cereal box, grab the gun where it is, and find it, and then point and shoot.
Isn't it kind of point blank, though, in a small kitchen?
Yes and no,
sort of,
because she's still at least 5 feet away from her.
Yeah.
She does miss either way.
Right, so she's not going to have any type of accuracy because you don't know exactly where the gun is pointed in this box.
And, and then the bride takes the knife that she has on the side and this throws it right perfectly, hitting her right in the in the throat.
She's going to have a hell of a lot more accuracy with the knife because she's throwing a knife and she's definitely better at a knife.
That's ironic because they were talking
the
about
gun and a knife fight.
About how Vernita her best weapon is the edge. Edge weapons was her specialty.
Yeah. Although I love the way Vivica A. Fox says bitch and this bitch. Thank you. I love that. So I mean, she hits her though. Is that there's blood almost to the ceiling behind her?
Yep.
I'm like, okay. I'm like, you hit her damn well. Mm-hmm. From one corner of the kitchen to another, hitting her perfectly well. Nikki does see the killing there.
Gunshot because she was told not to leave her room until Mommy comes to tell her it's okay.
Yeah. But there's a fucking gunshot.
Yeah. So that explained it.
Yeah. And
so she just stares with dull surprise.
Yeah, and
this to me is a casting mistake because you cast a little girl who the entire time she's basically told you're going to stand here and you're going to look and say nothing.
Right.
So
a direction mistake.
It is. It is a direction mistake. It's a casting. Because it's not even so much a casting mistake because you can't even say that about this little girl because this little girl probably could have acted better.
Yeah.
This is a directing mistake, Tarantino.
Yeah.
Because she might have been able to act surprised or scared or something. She looks.
There's nothing,
dull surprise. She looks empty.
Because if you're so scared you can't move, your eyeballs are going to be like wide open
or
and you're just
shaking a little bit.
Or like you can't breathe straight.
Right.
Or
But she's not. She's looking like she's just standing there.
And it's just really underscored later on when you see the Oren animation thing.
Right. Because that right there looks afraid. Shocked.
Even though she knows she can't move.
She can't move. She's breathing slightly heavy. She's afraid. I mean, that's what a child under a bed is going to do.
Right.
This is not what a child who's upset or scared.
Yeah.
That's not what a child's going to do.
And she offers, if you still feel raw about it when you're older, it was not my intention.
Trust me, she had it coming.
Yeah.
Unless this child is growing up to be a sociopath.
Like Oren.
Well, no, Oren didn't start off a sociopath. She was broken into becoming a sociopath.
I just figured maybe the same... Watching parents get killed.
Remember the bad seed. Yeah. The bad seed was born a sociopath. Maybe this child is already one, and maybe that's what we're trying to establish. And if that's
maybe Oren was.
Yeah.
No, she wasn't.
No.
When the anime started, Oren was not. She has emotions. She cares. She cries when her mother dies. Mm-hmm. That right there shows that she has feelings and cares about her family. A sociopath does not.
Yeah.
You could still be a murderous asshole.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's
murderous asshole is different than a sociopath.
So I'm thinking that maybe Nikki gets similarly traumatized and also becomes an assassin.
Yeah.
That's one thing. I'm talking about completely different, like, socio-mental states here. I'm talking about a child that has no emotion at all.
Yeah.
Versus a child who has emotion and learns to get rid of it.
Yeah.
Then, I don't know. Then I would think she would just kind of walk off and play video games or...
Right, which is possible that she might have done that, but we don't see that.
Yeah. Possibly.
I'm wondering if that might have been something that would have occurred in 3 if there had been one.
Yeah. It could be, yeah.
So, I don't know, Tarantino.
Yeah. And, it could be a completely different movie where that's addressed, too.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, so it could be something here.
So, it could have been something he had in mind. I don't know.
Yeah, so we flash back in a new chapter now. It's 4 years earlier. The police are investigating a massacre at the wedding chapel. And, even though it's El Paso, Texas, very much like I'm not going fantasy casting on this, but it's very much like if...
Western?
No, I was thinking in my head, like if Andy Taylor still maintained the sheriff position through the Andy Griffith Show, and then Opie Taylor became the son, or something like...
Deputy? Or
like he became the deputy later when he was old enough.
It's the...
Son number one?
It's the father and son from... If you've seen Planet Terror, it is the sheriff from Planet Terror.
Yeah.
Whose wife is sick actually it's better to say from Bulletproof.
Yeah.
It's the sheriff from Bulletproof, from Death Proof, I mean. Yeah. It's him and his son.
Yeah.
From Death Proof. It's the same.
I agree.
The exact same characters. It's that.
Yeah.
So, did you know the cameo in this scene?
Yeah.
Samuel L. Jackson has a cameo in this scene as the dead organ player.
Yeah.
Oh.
He's just dead.
He's just dead. He's in the second one.
Yeah.
Except he's alive.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a standing from his
it's back.
Standing from his contract with Pulp Fiction. They got along so well that he gets first crack at every Tarantino script.
Yeah.
To see where he could fit in.
Yep.
There are some where it's where you're like in these movies like spot the Tarantino cameo.
Yeah.
It's like, where's Samuel?
He's dead, face down on an organ.
Yeah, and but he does say that he may not be in his 10th movie. He's like, I haven't really talked to him in a while. I don't know. But the sheriff discovers the bride is alive but comatose.
Sheriff is kind of weird.
Yeah,
because she's a spitter.
Yeah,
he's all like, she's like some kind of blood spattered angel.
Yeah.
And it's like he likes her better dead or something. And until she spits it, and she's like, "It's that goddamn cocksucker."
Damn cocksucker's still alive.
Yeah, I wouldn't be.
Son number one. Yeah.
This cocksucker ain't dead.
In the hospital, the deadly Viper Ellie Driver prepares to assassinate the bride with a lethal injection by Bill
It's a stylish scene.
Okay.
Yeah.
Screen.
This makes me laugh because she walks in dressed in the strangest coat I've ever seen in my life.
With the belt drawn on?
The drawn-on belt, the drawn-on...
The buttons?
The buttons aren't drawn on, but the stitching is drawn on.
Yeah.
The stitching around the coat is drawn on.
Yeah. Well, what got me laughing was you have the medical slug,
the Red Cross
on the eye patch instead of on the hat.
Okay, and the hat. Okay, nurses don't dress like this anymore, guys.
No.
That's why it's stylish.
No, it is definitely stylish, but you don't have to wear the hat anymore. You don't have to wear the stockings anymore. You don't have to wear that type of uniform anymore. You wear scrubs.
Right.
The shoes are cute. The entire outfit is cute.
Yes.
It is definitely like old style 50s nursing uniform. And I'm sorry, I love Daryl Hannah. I love her.
Yeah.
She's very tall in real life.
Yeah.
I based a D&D character off of her.
Yeah.
Because I love her. She's just... I fucking love her. She terrifies me in this movie. Just her entire... I just fucking love her so much.
She's beautiful and menacing and commanding.
Exactly, and I love her.
Oh, it's just kind of sad when Bill's like, no, don't do it.
No, don't do it. She's pissed.
Oh, you little shit.
I know,
then she just, I don't know, gives in like a little...
Yeah.
Like a puppy.
Yeah.
She's a puppy.
Yeah.
Because she loves him.
She loves him so much. But when he's talking, I love the scene because it's a back and forth between the two of them, and it's almost like a split screen.
Yep.
Yeah.
And you don't see his face; you just see him playing with a sword.
Yeah. The split screen was when the bride is in the bed.
The bride's in the bed,
and
which is perfect.
And Ellie's approaching.
Yeah, and
totally not. Disguise.
Yeah,
right.
Now the thing that got me, like, this is late 90s, this is 1999 in the timeline right here.
Yep.
So, when this happens, she would have been noticed.
Yes.
Like, okay, number one, you don't have a badge for this current hospital, and you're not dressed like any of the other nurses.
No.
That's why it's a suspension of disbelief.
Yeah,
right.
It's too awesome. Yeah, it doesn't matter if it's unrealistic.
Yeah, and she walks into the bathroom and changes into this, but...
If this is your only problem with this part, the next part is where I have the most issues, but...
Yeah, but it's just because I work in, my day job, I work in a medical facility, I'm like, anybody with the right security would catch it and go, wait a minute.
Yeah, well, any decent hospital would prevent Buck from getting a job there.
Well, true. Very good point.
That is not true.
Yeah.
Because something even worse has happened recently.
Oh, recently?
Yes.
I know there
something
was
even worse
somebody
has happened.
knocked someone up.
Yeah.
And then she had a baby.
Yeah.
Again?
Yes, in the past 2 years that's happened. So you can't go there because it has happened to someone who was comatose in California 2 years ago. So
disturbing,
Make background checks.
Disturbing and real, and so it's like it's unfortunate, and it's still happening. Yeah. So So I can't go any further than that.
Yeah.
But regardless, my favorite part about this scene though is actually something that happens on Bill's end, because he tells her, we can't do this to her because she, we beat the hell out of her, and, we can't kill her in her sleep, it would lower us. And, Elle, like, when he says, don't do it, you don't actually hear what she says. All you hear is, like, yapping. Yeah. It's like a scream.
Over the phone.
And it's just, it's just really funny. All you hear is just unintelligible screaming. And then you don't owe her shit. Yeah. And then he says, keep your voice down, and you don't owe her shit.
Like, seriously, Bill, don't you know when you try to be noble, it's gonna bite you in the ass in these revenge movies?
I think he knew exactly what he was doing.
Oh, he wanted to die?
Yeah. No, not so much that he wanted to die.
Yeah.
It's fine. Dan's not in the room right now.
Is he gonna listen?
No.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think he knew what he was doing at this point, because I think he had a feeling that she was eventually going to wake up. I think he was waiting for another chance to get back at her.
Right.
Especially because of the daughter.
Yeah. when that's revealed, that actually makes more sense.
Right.
You know, where you're looking at like, oh, okay, he is there. You
right.
know? He is there for that reason, and it makes more sense to me. But when she wakes up and she's horrified to find out that she's no longer pregnant.
Yep.
But you also have just before that Buck come in with a friend. Yeah. And the and again, I work in a medical facility, so all this just...
How did you procure a tub of Vaseline that completely filthy?
Yeah.
I have a tub of Vaseline from like 20-something years ago, and it's not nearly that disgusting.
I have a tub of Vaseline in my bathroom right now. It is pristine.
Yeah.
Okay, mine's not pristine, but it ain't.
It's used because it does get used for, things that need to be used for Vaseline purposes. Yeah. But it's not, like, I don't want to say pristine as in, shiny, brand new, but it's not like that.
It doesn't look like a mechanic just changed some oil and then
not even just that. There's, you can see, pubic hair.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yes, right. When you watch it in HD, it's even worse.
But we have a 4K.
And it's
so
in
bad.
I just noticed it was a grimy and dark.
There's hairs on it.
And it's a hospital too. There's Vaseline somewhere else that no one's gonna notice is missing.
Lord, get some fucking KY.
There's other stuff. You can get that too. You can get other stuff that no one's gonna notice in inventory. That one tube is missing.
So gross.
It's still that gets me too. But she kills a man who intends to rape her by biting his tongue off.
I'm just glad they jumped forward in time.
Yeah.
Because I'm just like, nah.
Yeah.
He goes through the rules for it, but then figuring out, okay, she's, that he's been, all the memories come back of all the time that happened, but he's selling her body while she's comatose as being a pretty lady and all. She kills the man there who's the Buck who likes to fuck.
No, Buck is the nurse guy.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Kills Buck who likes to fuck.
Oh,
yeah.
When
and likes to party.
Well, she lets him know that she knows what he did when she remembers. When she's slamming his head in the door.
Screaming, "Where's Bill?"
After cutting his tendon to make him fall.
Yeah.
Yeah, ooh.
Good thing the trucker had a knife on him. Right?
Yeah. Which it was the same knife that she used with Vernita Green.
I thought they were fighting with kitchen knives.
Yeah.
No, she had the one.
The one that she threw was the same knife later. So.
I like the screaming, "Where's Bill?"
Yeah.
Scram. Where's Bill?
Who?
I don't know, Bill. Bullshit.
Yeah, and those doors can be freaking heavy alone.
Yeah, they've got the metal slab at the bottom too.
Yeah,
and they need to be pushed open usually by either a bed or a foot or whatever.
I'm just saying, a guy with "fuck" tattooed on his knuckles is probably a red flag. I'm no square.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Why would you do that?
Yeah. I'm also gonna say, if you've got the word "fuck" tattooed on your knuckles, you probably should not be working in a healthcare environment. HR should be looking at that, going, "I don't know about Buck."
Yeah.
I don't think he has. I don't think he plans long term.
Right. Yeah. No, and
I don't think he likes to follow social norms.
Well, and considering his car is Pussy Wagon, and I'm assuming
that's
at least
an even bigger red flag.
Yeah.
I call him chaotic evil.
Yeah.
Although the color choice is very aesthetically pleasing.
Yeah, and assuming so, he's probably one of the night orderlies too. So probably that kind of adds a little bit more.
So here's my issue with this part. Okay, I have no problems with her killing Buck.
Your big toe.
Okay, the whole entropy thing makes perfect sense. She's been in a coma for 4 years.
Yeah.
However, they should have been exercising her legs pretty steadily, because you will develop bed sores if you don't.
Yep.
So someone should have been exercising her muscles, because that's something that anybody in a coma patient sort of scenario they should have been doing anyway.
Have they always done that?
Yeah, they have to turn people over. They have to be doing that anyway. Otherwise,
I know about the turning. I didn't know they exercised.
They have to move the legs. They have to move them.
And stuff.
And they have to move legs and limbs and things like that. Yeah, they're supposed to be doing that.
Oh.
Wow.
At least once a day, anyway. They're supposed to be doing that.
Does moving them affect muscle growth at all, though? I thought the person who owns the muscles has to move them for any exercise to work.
No.
Oh.
No.
Now I'm just thinking of those old-timey belts that vibrated or those things.
Oh,
like,
God.
I wouldn't think those would work because they're moving the muscles for you or the fat.
Well,
They...
Well, the problem is what didn't work with that. One thing, beauty standards were different by that time when those things were more prominent. And also, the thought that if they jiggled the fat, it would start losing it. But the thing is, it doesn't move the heart rate.
Right.
And that's why it doesn't work.
Right.
And...
But doing this...
Yeah.
Still moves the muscle.
Yeah. It moves the muscle and it also exercises the tendons.
Right.
When you're doing this, they can't see it.
Yeah. Well, yeah, but the...
Well, I'm showing you, not the person at home.
Yeah, but it also moves as the tendons are one thing, the first thing to really atrophy as well, which causes why she really had a bad leg problem. And, once she was in the chair, her feet were twisted.
Yeah.
I wonder if they could make a machine that would exercise your arms and legs while you sleep. So you don't have to...
They do.
Yeah.
They do. Yeah. It's what people use when you have a knee replacement or any type of joint replacement surgery.
Yeah.
They actually do have machines that will move them for you because you have to do that in order to get your legs and any joints that you have to have your body not reject the replacement.
Yeah.
And have because your body can reject replacements, guys. Guess what?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, but I thought that was just like flesh. They can reject metal.
Nope.
Yeah.
No. Organs, metal, all that. Yeah.
Yep. And
what's the body gonna do? Attack and jam their little blood cells against the metal angrily?
Exactly,
Yeah, and it'll cause an infection, and it could be a big problem. My mother actually had to have her entire knee re-cracked.
Yeah.
And it was extremely painful. She ended up with a disease. She ended up on permanent disability because of it. It's not fun. But anyway,
knees never once.
Yeah. No.
But anyway, the part that bugged me about this scene, okay, is she kills an orderly, she kills another guy. She ends up with Buck's keys, goes downstairs, steals a wheelchair.
Was the sunglasses supposed to be a disguise?
The sunglasses was just a funny scene. Yeah. But she steals a wheelchair, she gets downstairs, she gets into a vehicle, she sits in a vehicle and starts, getting her body to work again. 13 hours later, gets her body to work again, gets in the car, drives away. In 13 hours.
Yeah, that's probably not exactly realistic.
2 people are dead. A patient is missing. Nobody goes downstairs to check his car?
Yeah, right, yeah.
Okay.
Good.
It's obvious car.
Yeah,
bright yellow.
Yeah.
Or maybe they find Buck dead and they don't feel particularly bad about it.
I realize this, but he's been murdered.
Yeah.
And a patient is missing.
Yeah.
So...
I mean, it's a hospital in Texas.
I get that.
That explains it.
Yeah.
But... Come on. Nobody goes downstairs to check that his car is missing?
Okay, well, Buck died? Oh, shoot.
And there's a patient missing.
Yeah.
They probably found the Vaseline and put 2 and 2 together.
Yeah. And,
they were like, hey, let's not tell anybody.
And he's naked.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
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 She took his clothes.
Yeah, true. You're right. Oh, damn. Wow, this is a really bad hospital.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
This is really bad. Wow.
But that makes it more logical.
Yeah, this is really
why
bad.
Ellie Driver can just walk around in a crazy, awesome outfit.
This is a terrible hospital.
Actually, I did think about this, though, is the way the Tarantino universe is, if you look at it chronologically...
It's because they killed Hitler, apparently.
The way they killed Hitler and the way it was advertised, everyone is more prone to violence going forward.
Okay.
So they're like, okay, it's just a generally more violent world, which is why you see, people are killed and, mostly in the background they go, and then they just move on. But it really is, that's kind of one fan theory out there.
That's fine.
But
the police are still going to show up.
Yeah, well, the police are still going to show up too.
They're still going to check his car.
Yeah.
I don't care how long it takes.
Yeah.
13 hours.
Yeah. Son number 2. Oh, son number 1. Son number 1. Did you see the guy? No, Dad. Son number 2, where are you again?
Wait, there's 2 sons?
Yeah, I'm just making it up.
Oh,
well, son number 1, and we know that he has a daughter who's a doctor.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So there is a second...
With a shitty husband.
who's also a doctor.
Oh,
right,
Who likes to chew on...
Yeah, it's black, right? Yeah.
And they both work in that hospital.
Yeah. True, yeah, that's a bad hospital then.
It's a really crappy hospital.
It's the same hospital.
Right.
Okay, yeah. It's a
shitty fucking hospital.
Yeah. Holy shit. Yeah. It's really...
this whole movie's going full circle,
yeah,
guys.
Well, I mean, if all of a sudden you have a pandemic and they're thinking self-preservation, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so she takes the truck for herself and goes out, but resolving to kill Bill and the other deadly vipers, the bride picks her first target, Oren Ishii.
And then we get the best part of the movie.
Well,
this is the second half.
Yeah. Yeah. We talked about Wiggle the Big Toe?
Yeah, but that's when we cut to a flashback with the badass anime thing.
Yeah.
But we did kind of talk about it.
Yeah. But
do we get the awesome anime?
Yeah, it's so good.
Oh, so good. Oh, so good.
It's so good.
So good.
Yeah.
This is when we start getting where the blood comes in.
Yeah.
And how pressurized blood comes into play.
But it's so artistic.
Oh, it's great. I'm not bagging. This is the best part.
Yeah.
This entire... Now, here's the deal. And I was telling Dan this when we were watching it. Oren is an awesome character until she gets too big for herself.
Yep.
I have no problems with Oren until she joins Bill.
Yeah.
Oren is her revenge on the Yakuza for killing her parents.
Yeah.
I have no problems with this. She deserves her revenge.
You can't beat him, join him, I guess.
Which you know what? That's fine. You know what? You want to start your own Yakuza clan.
Well, she did kill the killer, the main guy.
The main guy who did it, because he's a pedophile and he killed your parents. You know what? More power to you. Yeah. You know what? That's fine. You become a badass assassin by 20.
Yeah.
Awesome.
I don't care how conspicuous your red latex bodysuit is. It's just too fucking cool.
Yeah.
And I think it's funny that the people in that president car or whatever are the dude with the 2 chicks, and they're all so drunk and or high that it takes the girls a couple minutes after he's been shot in the head to realize.
Where they're going and looking in and realizing
really drunk and they're like
looking in and realizing that you can see the back of his head too.
Right.
That there's a hole straight through.
Right.
That the camera follows.
Like I'm okay with it.
Ooh, that's so good.
But it's when she joins Bill.
Yeah.
And then just for no reason, for no real good reason, does this?
Does what?
Goes after the bride?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, she's listening to the boss.
Yeah.
Right.
Well,
it's sort of... It's a little out of character.
No, she does the Yakuza stuff. She becomes the boss after that.
Right.
After they disbanded.
But in the 4 years.
Right.
Yeah.
So she might have changed somehow.
That's what I'm saying. She gets a little too big for herself.
Oh, definitely.
That's what I'm saying.
It's like it's to her downfall.
Right. Is what I'm saying is that her becoming like this badass assassin, I'm okay with.
Yeah.
Then she joins up with Bill and gets this way and then becomes a little too big for herself.
Yeah. Well, when she starts growing up. When she starts going up in the ranks of the Yakuza bosses, and And really, but she also has that chip on the back of her shoulder.
Right.
Being, half Chinese, half Japanese, half American. And I'm trying not to fall into it. But there is the Ode to Oranishi. I just like to play a little bit of it. Just so you can hear how bad it is.
Hey, yo. I want to dedicate this song right here to Oranishi. Half Chinese, half Japanese, half American.
Oh, God.
Or what a species of feminine perfection. She got the sinister cat eyes and little freckles on her complexion. Cheaper the Yakuza, but she's wicked like Medusa, and she got crazy 88 killers that'll slice right through you. Quick to chop her head off, then wipe the blood off. A long range sniper shot she bust, never let her dud off. You got a minute to pray, and a second to die.
I'm losing the battle here.
Yeah, the panel is just starting to really. The energy of the room is starting to go down. Like, what the hell happened?
Do you want to be music or do you want to be a slam poem?
Yeah, it really.
Yes.
It really does. But the whole. Okay, but I got to play one other bit though. We're talking about this whole animation. This is the best of that.
I will say, at least you can understand what Riz is saying.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's not like mumble rappers today where all of us like...
Well, they get inspired by Bob Dylan or some shit?
Straight up.
Real.
Yeah. But that is the best what I just played here when she's on there and looking at it. You see the gun and she's ready to kill and okay, she's 22 years old, ready and focused. Mm-hmm. But when she does the whole animation sequence, originally the rumor was that there was a real scene and this had to be animated over in order for Tarantino to hold an R rating.
That's what I heard too.
And instead of NC-17, and that's not true.
No.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I heard that was the case.
Yeah.
I also heard that the anime part was supposed to be cut out completely.
Yep.
Because it was going to get an NC-17.
Yeah.
Because I think it was in Japan, they didn't want to air it at all.
Right.
And he fought for it to be put in because it was like it's
amazing.
Well, he's a fan of anime. Period.
Yep.
And he wanted to do an anime part in one of his movies, and he thought this would be the perfect spot for it. And I was like, fuck yeah, it would be.
Yeah.
And so that's why he did it. And I was like, Tarantino likes anime? What the fuck? It's awesome. Like, my 21-year-old brain was like, fuck yeah, I like anime too.
I mean, it's kind of... There are stylistically random things in the movie that pop up from time to time, but I feel like it kind of keeps things fresh.
Yeah.
Like a little visual surprise, like that crazy 88 guy who did the Wilhelm. I think there's two.
Yeah. There was two Wilhelm screams.
Yes.
Yeah.
And we were like, Wilhelm and Wilhelm's cousin? Who's also named Wilhelm?
Or like, there was also, what seemed to the audience, like a random switch to black and white or something.
The random switch to black and white I liked because to me it was a bit of a callback to black and white film, so you could, if they wanted to cut out the blood, if they didn't want to film all the blood splatter, they didn't have to.
That was a stylistic director's choice, but it was also to get ahead of the MPAA.
To go into the black and white.
Yeah, because he said, okay, if they do it this way, because you have, the rule is that you can only have so much blood.
Yep.
Visualize blood to make it look like blood.
Yep.
So when you see war scenes where blood is draining, you can only have a certain amount, but it has to be actually visually shown that it is. So take away the redness, who knows?
But it gets more confusing. It's just like it gets to be like a lot of blurry action where it's, you just kind of pick out pieces here and there of what's going on. Like,
but
she's
it's
slipping.
awesome.
I can't remember what game it was, but there was a game recently. It was like a first-person shooter where there were complaints about the amount of blood that showed up in the game, and the devs are just like, "All right, fine." Changed all of the blood to white.
Oh no!
Is this better?
Oh
no!
I can't remember the name.
You showed me that.
I saw like an anime looking picture.
Become Bukake.
Yes.
Oh dear.
I thought you were gonna go and mention Mad World, but Mad World was black and white and red.
Yeah, and that was stylistic. That was like the choice
awesome.
for Mad World, which was a surprisingly decent game.
Yeah, wasn't the voice of the
John DiMaggio.
Yeah, he was one of the announcers.
Yeah.
Oh, the onions were yellow.
Yeah.
And there were kitsune masks in one of the levels. That was fun.
No. Yeah. No means yes, and yes means anal.
Yeah, that's one of the lines I remember from that.
Yeah. So, my favorite scene of the entirety of this is when the bride meets Hattori Hanzo.
Yeah.
Oh, and she's pretending to be, an American tourist.
No, I know a few Japanese words.
Dumbo. Or I said Dumbo.
Yeah.
And they're yelling at each other.
Yeah.
It's like, why always get the tea? You do the fish. I get the tea.
Yeah.
I get the sake.
Yeah. And the army, I'd be the general. You're general, I'd be the fucking emperor.
Now go get the sake.
And you'd stare at the fucking sake.
I love it. It's like,
Gino's getting upset.
Yeah. Like a bottle of warm sake. Warm sake?
Yeah.
At this time of day?
It's the middle of the afternoon. Do it!
Go get the sake.
Yeah. Morning, noon, night, who the fuck cares? And you see this, and it's just like, ooh, like the whole back and forth, but also the one part of it when they start attacking each other, and Uma does this perfect twist and turn right around and still makes eye contact with him.
Yeah.
And he kind of notices a little bit, and then orders him around. He goes, okay, and then when she says, okay, I want to meet a man. I'm looking for him. I've never met him. Is he a friend? No. Who is he? Hattori Hanzo. And then he stops.
He stops, but then in the
stops
background,
chopping, and then
you hear a bottle break.
Yeah.
Oh.
Because he dropped the bottle of sake.
Yeah.
And that is my favorite part of that scene.
Yeah.
It's off camera,
but
you hear the bottle break.
Yeah.
Because that guy in the background is like, what?
Shit.
The one watching the soap opera?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Watching my stories. Fuck your stories.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
She just asked for Hattori Hanzo.
Yeah.
And then you can just switch to Japanese.
Yeah. So then she's speaking full Japanese. He's like, okay, I know who I'm getting into, right? Who I'm getting in with right now.
Suddenly everything just went really fucking serious.
Shit got real.
Yeah, and through the little trap door in the ceiling, they have this, beautiful, beautiful racks of katanas.
So beautiful.
That and you hear that beautiful sound.
It really is sword porn, and it
is, yes.
So nice.
It is.
I love how she goes to grab one, he's like, no. The second one down.
That one. Try that one.
And I'm like, yeah, the second one down.
Yeah. You see that and was like, oh, this is beautiful. This is really, really beautiful.
I felt bad. I'm like, if I ever was reincarnated, I'd want to do swordplay.
Yeah.
And I said to her, why can't you learn now?
And I'm like, nah, I've aged out. It's fine.
Yeah, no, you haven't. No, you have someone who can teach you.
The magic of video games?
Yeah.
It's not the same.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you can't get cut in big cuts.
I'd be fine with getting cut.
I wouldn't want to be cut.
I have blade and sorcery if you really want to stab me.
Yeah,
we have VR. You're welcome to
use it. You have someone who can teach you. Who's looking right at you right now?
I want to do swordplay.
Okay. I can teach you. I can teach you that. Because I do know quite a bit of it.
I want to do swordplay.
And swinging a chunk of metal around is actually a pretty damn good exercise.
Yeah, could be. Could be, yeah. And with Hattori Hanzo, where she stays for a month, and the beautiful swing when she cuts the baseball, as we said, is with Zoe Bell. Mm-hmm. And, going back and forth, and you realize, and it's the beauty parts of it, and this one Tarantino masterful writing. You only see a few lines or a little bit of it, and then you see more. And so, where she's like, sell me I'm not selling you a sword. I didn't say sell. I said give me. And considering I have, my vermin is one of your students, considering the student, you have a very large obligation.
Yeah.
And this where he
writes Bill.
Yeah, where he writes Bill. It's Sonny Chiba,
yes,
who just slowly looks at the ground and just slowly walks over and writing Bill with even the right inflections. Mm-hmm. Okay. You never know fully what happens totally, but You don't need to.
Nope.
You don't need to. And then when she just wipes there was an alternate cut where Uma walks up to the pane and then wipes it with one swipe. And what we get in the movie is where she's just slowly wiping it away, and then it gets that little bit.
That was okay.
Yeah.
When I saw that little bit got me. Because when she wipes it off with her sleeve, and there's only this little bit at the very end, and then she gets it with her finger, I was like, if she didn't get that was going to drive me insane.
Yeah, it got me. It got me too when I looked at it, but it's the what it showed in Tarantino's own words was it showed the precision of the bread.
Mm-hmm.
The persistence of what she wanted to do, and what she wanted to do was make him
away.
She won't compromise,
but make him suffer.
Yes,
and make him realize, and it was a stylistic choice on set in order to do it, because he was rewriting this as they filmed as well, and trying to figure out new things. But that stylistic thing actually is a foreshadowing of what's at the end of this movie, of this volume rather, where you see it and it's like, okay, like she doesn't want to wipe him out in one swoop, or else he'd be at the top of the list.
Right.
She's at number 1 right now. We already saw number 2.
Right.
But
she wants to pick them off one by one and make him nervous.
One by one, but then yes, she's coming for him. She's coming for him, and then we get to the amazing fucking scene of the House of Blue Leaves.
I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it.
All of this is beautiful. Especially where some of the things, like casting-wise, where you have Oranishi's bodyguard, who was an actress who was, if you're really a big fan of Asian films, you know the film Battle Royale.
Mm-hmm. I fucking do!
Yeah, I know you did. Yeah. Battle Royale, she's prominent into it.
Yep.
It's several of those underground Asian films that get displayed at college.
And you want to talk Dead Eyes. Go Yubari.
Yeah.
Dead Eyes.
Yeah.
But it makes sense. It works.
Yeah, or the beautiful fight scene she has, the beautiful weaponry, and you have Charlie Brown the waiter.
Yeah.
And during Gogo's fight with the metal ball, I don't know if there's an actual name for that.
It's like a ball on a chain that she swings.
Apparently, during that whole thing, at one point she actually clocked Quentin Tarantino because he was standing too close to the camera, and he just got him right in the head with it.
Ow.
He probably said, "Do it again." But just backing a bit though is what the Hattori Hanzo, where he says, 28 years ago, I took an oath of God that I would never make anything that would kill a man. These are weapons that would kill.
Now you know that what he puts on his sword, right?
Yeah.
They're Shiza statues.
Yeah.
You know what they represent, right?
No.
They're lions.
Yeah.
They're Okinawan statues.
Aren't they also called foo dogs?
Yeah.
They're based on Chinese statues. They're guardians.
Yeah.
They're supposed to guard away from evil.
Yeah. True. Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
So
it did make me wonder, really, how that relationship really played. If that was also one of the things where Bill might have manipulated him to do more.
I think
at some point.
I remember reading a theory.
They don't go into detail about their relationship so much, so we don't really know about their relationship. I was
just speculating. Really.
No, I know. This is one of the things that kind of leaves it open-ended.
Yeah.
Because we don't know about the relationship between Bill and Hattori Hanzo. Yeah. We don't know how it got so twisted.
Yeah.
So...
Well, I read a theory earlier today. I think it's mostly a fan theory. I don't think they actually get into it. Again, I haven't seen the second movie.
They don't really. After this movie, it kind of it goes away from Japan and heads into China.
So it's the theory kind of posits that Bill talked Hattori into making more weapons.
There are multiple swords.
Into making more weapons for the Divas, for the Deadly Viper assassination Squad, yes. under the pretense that it's for collection and aesthetic pretenses. Hattori believed him, and then Bill betrayed him. And that's why he feels so guilty, and that's why he makes the weapon for the bride.
I just figured
that's the theory I saw. I
don't believe that.
Yeah.
I just assumed that he taught Bill, sword fighting, and it's basically what happened. The backstory in Kung Fu Panda.
I believe that closer. There are 2 swords that are made.
Yeah.
For Bill.
Oh, there is one where he says, "Why don't you try the one below it?"
Yeah.
Yeah. There are 2 swords made for Bill. I can say that canonically. There are 2 swords made for Bill, and I do believe that Hattori did train Bill with the sword.
Yeah.
And he does say that he hasn't made one in 29 years, so there is definitely history there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I believe that the last one he made was for Bill. And after that, I think he found out that Bill was using the swords for his hit squad. And that's when he went, nope, never doing this again.
Yeah.
So I do believe that Bill betrayed him, and Bill said he was going to use it for one thing and then started doing something else.
Yeah.
But we never find out the truth of the matter. I do know that there were 2 swords made for Bill.
Yeah, and there's still... Again, nothing really even needs to be said, but it just lets enough into this world. If this wasn't written correctly and taken time and really crafted, and Tarantino is crazy, and it's my co-host on the other podcast of that I have. It said his own wife says Tarantino's just very weird. I said, yes, but you could separate the man from the art.
Yeah.
And he is really crazy, but this is where I said at the very beginning for that very reason. Hitchcock made Psycho. Yep. Francis Ford Coppola made The Godfather. And Frank Capra made It's a Wonderful Life. 3 movies where the directors absolutely tortured the actors. Completely, and really put them right to the end, and even Stanley Kubrick, The Shining, if you want to think about it that way. Tarantino made Kill Bill. This is his peak. This is his absolute peak of movies. Because the rest of them, people either love or hate. Pulp Fiction kind of has put on a pedestal there, but this is Tarantino's peak in my mind.
I'm a big fan of Reservoir Dogs. But
yeah. Oh yeah,
I can leave or take Reservoir Dogs. I've seen it, and I get that, but I can take it or leave it. I prefer Kill Bill.
Yeah, this is the one you look at it like this is a masterpiece. This is a masterpiece here. So at the House of Blue Leaves, Tokyo restaurant, so many beautiful bits are here with this, but
such a wonderful.
Where you have the 5, 6, 7, 8 playing, and you have some dancing. This is also the scene where you get the Tarantino cameo. In a couple places, he is one of the dancers on the DVD, and he is also part of the 88 squad too.
Is he?
He is, yeah. He is. There's a scene, there's part of the scene where there's one guy who goes onto his back and she's stabbed straight down. That is him in a bald wig.
That's so funny.
Yeah, that is just. I wouldn't have known that if I had to do some deep diving here. There is extra scenes on the DVD as well. Like you can see, Tarantino has some cameras set up a little out of focus, but he is in the crowd dancing, and it is just exactly what you think.
I knew he was in the crowd.
Yeah, but it is exactly the type of dancing you would think Tarantino would do.
Yes.
It really, really, really gets it. I'm really trying to avoid talking about fantasy casting right now.
Yeah, right.
But where you have this beautiful setup, this great bar, everything is beautiful,
and the owner is scared shitless.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, because she had heard about what happened with Boss Tanaka.
Yeah.
Did that happen at a restaurant?
Yeah, that happened at. I don't think that happened at her restaurant, but it happened at a restaurant.
Yeah.
And she's followed around by the Charlie Brown looking waiter guy.
I believe is her husband.
Yeah.
Oh, he's so scared.
Yes.
Yeah. They have these crazy people. They're ordering food, like random stuff. They're kind of.
I want 4 pizzas.
Yeah,
Or
pepperoni pizza. It's not on the menu.
I don't care.
Yeah.
Okay, now here's something I'm going to mention. They all have anime hair.
Yeah.
Because this is an anime scene. Okay, this is directly out of a fucking Shonen Jump. Okay.
Yes, it is.
This entire scene would have been out of a fucking anime.
Yeah.
All the guys here have anime hair. She is dressed as a fucking anime character. She has a beautiful kimono on.
Yeah.
It is white. It is silk. It has a beautiful pattern on it.
She's got the obi. She's got the tabby.
I mean, Lucy Liu looked good.
Those socks, by the way, are fucking comfortable.
Yeah.
I have a pair. They're great.
Yeah.
They really are. They're very, very comfortable. The shoes are not. But
No.
the socks are great.
No, it's just like cardboard, right?
Well, the ones that she has, that she's wearing, those look like they're made of porcelain.
Oh.
So,
Ooh.
yeah, those look like they're very uncomfortable.
Dang.
The one I have a pair that are made of straw. Those are not comfortable at all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wasn't that part of your Bleach cosplay?
Yeah, I have a cosplay of a Bleach character, which the cosplay I have is actually the entire outfit is
I had a pair of Taekwondo shoes that were basically like that, but the male version of it. But it made my feet look like Homer Simpson's shoes. They really don't make okay. If I wore jeans and a white collar, people would hand me donuts. I should have done that.
I have a full Shinigami costume, so it looks like it looks like a full black kimono. It's very comfortable. It's awesome. Honestly, it's extremely comfortable.
I love the costumes in this. The whole setup of the entirety of the scene where it takes its time to show you around a little bit. You know, the bride is at the at the bar. Backing up where she was landing in Tokyo with the katana.
Okay, is a katana a carry-on?
Yeah.
How does that work?
But landing in Tokyo with a katana while you're looking around seeing the city just looks so cool.
Yeah.
And did she color coordinate with the rental company for that motorcycle?
Right?
Probably.
Yeah.
And the just funny thing, the miniatures set that's showing like the approach into Tokyo is actually left over from a movie we've done on our last Kaiju month.
Yeah, really?
Godzilla, Mothra, and King Ghidorah All Out Monsters Attack.
Really?
Yep.
Really?
It's left over like miniatures Tokyo scenery.
Yeah. Freaking Tarantino probably had a ball.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I mean, he did pick a lot. I mean, there's a lot of references we're not getting into because this would be a 6-hour podcast. But where it takes the time and you see those things like, where she's outside of Oren Ishii's area, and then, where Lucy Liu just grabs a dart and throws it.
Oh, yeah.
And there's very little things that just set you up beautifully. My
first thought there was like, oh man, that's gonna suck having to replace that paper.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because all that's made of paper. Yeah. It's high quality paper.
Didn't you do that?
Paper.
I didn't ruin the walls, but so for college, went to Japan for like a 3-week study tour thing, and we stayed in a couple of different places, like this Machiya townhouse thing, and they did have like the paper wall thing. It was like a sliding window.
Yeah.
I had to put, was it my socks? I think I had to dry them somewhere. I don't remember why, but I guess they touched the paper and it got all wet.
Oh no!
And then the people were like all like, and I'm like, oh my god, I'm all ready to trip screw up. And I guess my teacher said it'll be fine. It'll dry. It'll be fine. And I guess it did.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like I said, it's high quality paper, so it's not like it's gonna wreck it. It'll dry. It's just, but that's a hole.
Didn't you learn how to make that too?
We did make a washi paper. I have a piece of it. We embedded cool, colorful leaves.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah, the whole setup, and you sit there, but with the husband and wife nodding and bowing to Oren, and all of it.
The scene where where Oren throws the dart.
Yeah.
and Gogo opens the door to check.
Yeah.
And the bride is on the ceiling.
Yeah.
I went, how the fuck did she get up there?
Yeah.
And Dan turns to me and goes, Joss, it's an anime.
Yeah.
And I went, you're right. You're right.
Anime.
I did just say this was a Shonen Jump.
Yeah.
So
yeah, and when you see it later where she does random jumps, like it
turns into a wuxia.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Yeah,
it does. It's fine.
But the beautiful fight happens where you have the beautiful flashback where you have Sophie Fatale.
Sophie Fatale.
Who
half
is
French, half Japanese.
Yeah.
I can't remember what the rest of it is, but it's just...
Best friend, lawyer.
Yeah, Oranishi's lawyer, but it has that same ring, and it
was
puts
she
her...
also a Viper, too?
She was not, but she's one of Bill's subordinates.
They were on the team, and then she just, that same cell phone ring, and they flash back to the chapel. And then you're going
Which
back,
has
and it's
different meaning in Japan.
Yeah,
it does.
Really,
that song is not necessarily a New Year's thing.
Yeah,
it's a different name to it. I can't remember it offhand, and my phone's in the other room where I look it up. But it has entirely
it's not
different.
Old Lang Syne.
Yeah.
No, it has entirely different lyrics, and it's often associated with graduations.
Huh?
Right.
No kidding.
Right.
Huh. Yeah. That's
I can't remember the name of it because my phone's in the other room.
Yeah. Now, they used 450 gallons of fake blood in this scene alone.
It's corn syrup.
Yeah. Just to see all this maneuver and the way that they did this, but starting off where she slices the arm off Sophie Fatale, calling out Oranishi, and Oranishi's guards start to do that, and they go out and then pull the door back the other way so she can come through.
Yeah.
Wait, oh shit! Wait, okay. And then seeing that slow burn and then slice, and then everybody leaves, and then the crazy 88 coming through, where she's slicing the others one by one.
Yeah. I do like the fact that Oren lets
Charlie
Brown.
Yeah.
Let's Charlie Brown go.
Yeah.
Get out of here.
Yeah.
You're not involved in this.
Yeah.
I do like the fact that she's just you're innocent, fuck off. That's oh, wait, there's a sliver of humanity left in you?
She has a code.
Yeah.
Right.
But even when she's explaining after cutting off Tanaka's head.
But it's nice to see.
Yeah, I know.
Which is that's a legit thing. It's just yes, talk to me about anything except the subject we just broached.
Except this. So if anybody brings this up, I collect your fucking head.
Yeah. Any of you sons of bitches got anything else to say?
Now's the fucking time!
I think I'd say...
I didn't think so.
Splat.
Oh, this...
It just brings out a lot.
Yeah. It does make me happy. Now, I would want to just pause for a second and briefly bring up something we brought up because we did get a lot of fan support for the long tangent that we had about abortion rights.
Okay.
So, a lot of support.
Nice.
So, it was actually a very, very, very good amount of it. So, thank you. And we would say we strongly support a woman's rights to choose.
Oh, hell yeah.
And it is, it's very, very, very obvious. I did not intend to put these two movies in at this time to be an ode to this.
Oh, is that what people thought?
No, they're just are you reviewing this because of everything going on in America right now? I'm like, no. But it works. Cool.
Not intentionally, but we're gonna pretend.
Yeah, it does.
If it's a good idea, then
sure.
Yeah,
if you like the idea, then sure. Yeah, that was our plan the whole time.
Yeah. He's with me the whole time. It just it fits. It fits. So yes.
It is. I mean,
so we got a lot of support for that, and I know. Some of us were a little worried if we went on a little long about it.
I got kind of angry, and I mean, Angry gets shit done.
Yeah, it does. This is not the...
I mean, if you put action behind it.
Yeah, this is the time to get work, get action, get things done. And yes, it is something, and there are some people who are bringing up the bride now, and I love it. I love it. But... in this scene where you see this, and I told you where my favorite Bruce Lee movie is Game of Death, where she's wearing Bruce Lee's jumpsuit.
Yes.
And you see it, and I tell you...
I like how underneath the jacket is like the same,
it's the same
color. Yes.
Yeah. Where you see this, where she starts fighting, and she's holding the sword, and I'm like, Uma Thurman looks freaking gorgeous here.
She does.
And I tell you...
so well done.
Yeah.
Her hair is curled, which I'm like, all right.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking to myself,
her hair's got this
it's a
like,
little curl,
this little curl to it, which I'm like, when did she go to the hairstylist before she got here?
Yeah.
But she's got this, and Dan brought up an excellent point, by the way, before this scene. He wants to know where her scabbard went.
Yeah. Where did the scabbard for her sword go?
Yeah.
Because like later on, like after all the fighting and everything, when she goes to sit down, I'm just thinking it's like, shit, my scabbard's somewhere in there.
Well, yeah, you do see the sword fly out.
Yeah.
Go back. She gets it. Yeah, that's a good point.
He's like, where did it go? And I went,
where's the sheath? Shit, I'm going to have to go find it. I
had my mouth open, my finger out, and I was like, you have an excellent point there. I do not know. And I was like, maybe it's still in the bathroom.
It's possible.
It's with the jacket in the bathroom.
Well... when she does all the
when she
part
cuts
that
off,
I thought
she cuts off Sophie's arm.
Yeah.
So like maybe it's still the stage.
Yeah. That when she goes back to get Sophie, but also says, if you leave with your lives, leave with it now, but leave the limbs because they belong to me. And I'm like, okay,
they belong to me. I'm starting a collection.
Yeah.
Slap fight with them.
Yeah. But I'd imagine
she cuts off so many limbs.
I would imagine she sewed like a bunch of limbs onto Sophie, and just when she pushes them to the
reminds me of the closet from the brain that wouldn't die. Like, why did he have a closet for all that leftover crap?
It just makes me think of that scene from Guardians of the Galaxy 2 when Groot runs over with the freaking with the finger.
Yeah.
And he comes over. Okay, you might not have seen it, but there's a scene where little baby Groot runs over with a severed, I think it's a severed finger.
Yeah.
And he runs over and he's like, "Do you have like a drawer with a bunch of severed fingers?" And he's like, "No." And he's like, "So where'd he get it?" "I don't know." And he's like, "Okay,
which is
then.
the scarier prospect,
right?" Because he keeps asking for a very, I can't remember what he's asking for, but he's asking for a very specific thing, and Groot keeps running over with things that are not that thing, and one of those things he brings over is a severed finger. And he's like, where did you get this?
So this fight scene that happens was the majority of it, because Tarantino was so meticulous with what he wanted to do with the moves he wanted Uma to portray, especially where they had to get the shots done exactly right. Mm. And, where two katanas are flying at her and she does a perfect catch. Mm. Gets them, toss them out of the way, slice sideways beautifully. Even the ones where she gets like four guys behind her twisting and moving around, and I'm like,
scene.
Yeah, and just saying that I remember watching this in 2003, and I'm like, I got a boner right now.
Right, that's so.
Just
so cool. Okay, now here's the thing about fighting multiple people, and Dan brought this up too. Yeah. At the very beginning, there's only 6? That she
There's
fights.
6 at the front, yep.
Which are a lot easier.
A couple of them get a piece of her.
A couple, she ends up getting. At the very beginning, she doesn't really get that injured.
Yeah.
She takes them all on pretty quick. They end up dying pretty quick. She takes on Go-Go.
Yeah.
The Go-Go fight is what ends up injuring her the most at the very beginning, because Go-Go gets a good piece of her. Go-Go cuts her in the shoulder.
Yeah.
Go-Go hits her in the chest really hard with the metal.
The metal ball.
The metal ball that is much better than a yo-yo. That's an inside joke.
Who brings a Kuna to a yo-yo fight? I mean, really.
But Gogo hits her in the chest with this yo-yo. Gogo strangles her before she gets taken out.
Yeah, the strangle thing?
Yeah.
That's actually Tarantino strangling her.
No shit, really?
Yeah.
That was me being sarcastic because Nick knows why.
Yeah. It's still
Tarantino, man, you got problems.
Yeah.
Bro. I mean...
That was him. That was really him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You could definitely tell by her eyes that she's being strangled.
Yeah.
I mean, he pushes the envelope way too much when it comes to this shit.
Yeah.
He does. This is not the first time he's done this, and it's not the last time.
Considering Carradine's fate, I think you should probably learn some restraint.
Yeah.
Well, Carradine did that to himself.
Yeah.
True, but I mean the whole...
Right.
It could be risky to mess around with strangling.
Well, it's who does that when they look at a door jam and went,
You know? I'm so sorry to your family.
So this section here where when like the rest of them all pour in after the fight with Gogo.
You didn't think it was going to be that easy, did you?
Was it, for a second there?
I did. Yeah.
But this is the conservation of ninjutsu.
Yeah.
This is where I was heading with this.
It's a thing that comes up. It's on like TV tropes.
Yep.
If there's one ninja, you're fucked.
Yeah.
If there's 30, you're fine.
You're fine.
Yeah.
And this is where I was heading with this.
Is quality, not quantity.
Right.
Yes.
When there are multiple people going after one person, the problem is you're gonna get in each other's way.
Yeah.
And that is what ends up happening here.
Yeah.
Is that you have too many people going after her at once. So you end up bunching up. And when you bunch up, you're gonna end up getting stabbed by each other.
Yep.
And
this is what
ends up happening a few times.
Yeah.
They start all going after her at once, so they kind of get tangled. So she easily overpowers a bunch of them at once, which is why we get such cool fight scenes nonetheless. But we get the whole swipe in the back where she gets to take out 4 of them at once.
Yeah.
Where one lunges at her, she dodges, and he ends up stabbing, the guy in front of her. You get a lot of these awesome scenes, but that's because you get a bunch of people going after her at once.
And also, the Crazy 88s are young.
Very.
Yeah, are young boys that are manipulated.
When most of them have been killed off, you get the last few kind of going up the stairs. They look
the
nervous.
12-year-old.
They look very,
that
very
is
young.
my favorite part of this.
Oh, before they even show that one in isolation.
Where you get for fucking around with the Yakuza.
He spanks
Go
them.
home,
Your mother.
Hey.
Right, Chino.
Right.
Yeah,
Don't play with Yakuza.
Yeah, just like it just where she slices the katana bit by bit.
And this kid is just looking at her like
he's gonna piss himself.
Yeah.
Okay.
If he already didn't do it already.
Yeah.
he's like, okay, now
I was like, does he piss himself? I can't remember.
he's like 15.
Yeah.
It's like,
And it's the one guy who lost his mask during the fight.
Yeah, where the lights go out and it goes back on, and then she gets the fight Orenishi. And this fight is gorgeous.
Isn't it inspired by something called the Yuki-onna?
Yes.
Yes.
Movie?
The Yuki-onna is a Japanese monster, like the snow.
well,
Snow lady,
Yuki
The
is
snow,
Yuki is snow in Japanese.
Yeah.
So.
Well, the
Yuki-onna is like a
snow,
snow demon.
The Snow Lady is directly inspiring the Bride as a character in general too.
I mean, wasn't that a movie?
Yes. Yeah, but the this whole scene, because even with the Foley of it, where you have that
bamboo thingy,
the bamboo water dipper,
I love that thing.
You have that boop drop, and the snow just
moments.
perfect, little things, and of course because it's an American movie, I mean they have the intense stuff a little further away. But the beauty of it is that it's the Bride and the aesthetics of it's a snowy, beautiful scene. Lucy Liu is dressed all in white.
Yep.
she's in her element.
And in her element, exactly.
Menacing.
And her feet are very, very cold.
You also have to remember,
Yeah.
the Bride has also been beaten up at this point. She has been...
Yeah. And Oren is
I hope he saves your stamina.
Yeah. And she even says it.
Yeah, you won't last 5 minutes.
Well, I hope that you've saved your strength.
Yeah.
Because, is that basically, where did you get your steel?
Yeah.
And she says it's a Hanzo sword, and
Lies.
she lies.
Yeah.
And then she shows the Shiza.
Yeah.
But she's like, wow. She's like, well, that's one thing about blades is that they don't tire.
Yeah.
But,
the
people
humans do. Yeah. Yeah, which is
a great
true.
line.
Yeah.
It's a great line.
Yeah.
I gotta admit that's a great line. And that...
And I'm just thinking of Soul Eater, where the kids turned into the weapons.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
But you got to look at the bride here, okay? She's got her I think it's her right shoulder. She's gonna slice through her right shoulder.
Yep.
Her belly's been sliced by the second in command.
Yeah.
He had his leg cut off.
Yeah. Johnny Moe.
Yeah. He's gone, but he sliced her stomach. She's been strangled.
Yeah.
She's been beaten in her chest, and she had her back cut open not yet, but she gets her back cut open by Oren.
Yeah.
So she gets her ass kicked.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's one thing. And Oren actually insults her.
Yeah. Yeah, but then she apologizes.
She
too.
does.
Yeah.
Basically, Oren, kind of throws it in her face.
Yeah.
A little bit.
She does. Yeah, and she does. Which would she call her too? I can't remember.
Blonde.
A silly Caucasian girl, which is like that. Nobody talks like that.
Yeah.
Who likes playing with samurai swords.
Yeah.
But you may not be able to fight like a samurai, but you could at least die like one.
Yeah, I love that line.
Just say wait. It's got fewer syllables.
Yeah.
It sounds more...
Yeah, but
I don't know, like something somebody would say.
But Oren is also, fighting with the fact, I think it's also silly Caucasian girl likes to play with samurai swords. She
was from America.
Yeah, her father was an American soldier.
Didn't she live on an American army base?
Yeah, which is in Japan. Possibly, yeah.
Okay.
That was never fully clarified either, though.
She was born on an American army base
in
Japan.
Oh, okay. What did they say that?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. But the fight scene is just gorgeous.
It is.
The pacing is good.
The
pacing's good.
He knows when to tease the audience a little bit.
Yeah, the sound of the foley of the swords and use of the fence and just... And even where she gets her right at that very last moment.
Well, I do like the fact that when they fight, the first blood drawn is by Oren on the bride's back.
Yeah.
Like I said, bride's tired. She just fought a bunch of people.
Yeah.
She's been injured. And she does leave herself open.
Yeah.
Because, if you watch the fight itself, she does leave herself open. So when she gets that slice on the back, I was just like, what are you doing?
Yeah. Yeah.
So when she gets up, the next time they cross swords, she gets Oren in the leg.
Yeah.
That's when Oren apologizes.
That's Oren apologizes, because then she's like, oh, snap.
Yeah.
She's serious.
Yeah. Suddenly it's like, okay, all right.
Yeah. But they all show with all these people that they had some form of relationship, even Ellie Driver says it.
I might have hated you the whole time.
I might have hated you, but I respected you. And they all respected the bride.
Right. She was a hell of a fighter.
Yeah, they all respected the bride, because if she was the number one, then, they all wouldn't have been there
There was
either.
a reason for
it.
Isn't Black Mamba, like, the most poisonous?
Yes.
Of all of the snakes?
A Black Mamba is fucking deadly.
Yeah.
They explain it in the second movie really well.
Yeah, that's probably what I'm remembering.
Yeah. It just hit me, too. I think this is, you think this is, like, the real version of the Fox Force 5 from Pulp Fiction, Uma Thurman's character, where she played that pilot. Yeah.
It does make me think Charlie's Angels, but evil.
Yeah.
And there's a token dude.
True. Yeah. True. Yeah. True.
And Bud. And the rest.
But it's where she hits it in that last moment where she does that beautiful swipe.
Yep.
And it's the final moment, like, where you say, okay, and it hits great. You know, it hits, boom.
It's over.
But she pauses, and you can almost see without seeing Uma's face, holy crap, I did it.
Yep.
You know, like, I did it. And even where she spends a few moments, goes back and sits on the bench.
Yep.
You're like, okay.
Just take a breather for a minute.
Yeah, let me do that. But the last words of Oren, oh wow, that was a Tori Hanzo sword.
And then
slow drop.
It's also very Hannibal Lecter-esque because that's
true. Yeah,
because that was the first thing I thought of when I first saw this movie. I was like, oh wow, because that just reminded me of that scene.
Yeah,
in Silence of the Lambs.
It just that's the beauty side of it, just where you see the sword.
Yep.
On the side, the light hits perfect. She's also using the sword as a mirror, which is the perfect way to do it.
Oh yeah,
because you are supposed to use that sword to be able to see behind you too.
Yeah.
Which Tori Hanzo's sword, or a real sword done right, you know, is where it reflects beautifully. Which is also again going in what you said is why you clean the damn blade,
right?
You know, before you sheath it back, so you can see it for your own protection too. And it hit, and I'm like, this is so beautifully done. Mm-hmm. It's so beautifully done, and it doesn't even look like it's on a soundstage.
No, it doesn't.
At all. It just hits
It's just
perfect.
So pretty. It is, the entire scene is so fucking pretty.
Yeah.
I'm just thinking of, I think it was just before, though, this, where, with the crazy 88 groaning on the floor, and then the proprietor is about
she's slipping on the blood,
and she's all like screaming. Oh my god!
And then all I can think of is, oh my restaurant! Oh my restaurant!
I didn't notice that when we saw it before. And I watched it, I'm like, oh my god, yeah, she's just screaming.
Because I've heard horror stories from my dad about this motel, the way people have left it.
Oh yeah, like that method actor who was playing George Washington.
I don't know if he was a method actor, but no, not that. I mean the horrible one, like the guy that just pissed so bad in the bed that he had to replace it.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez.
Oh yeah, the reason why he sold that hotel.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I remember the method actor who was playing George Washington who had piss in jars.
Wait, what?
Yeah,
I don't.
That one I remember. Like he had to be.
I don't remember that.
Yeah,
I remember the Washington impersonator guy or whatever.
Yeah, I think he was playing George Washington down the road. He was told to be called George Washington or something like that.
I don't know, but
are you sure that wasn't Howard Hughes?
Yeah, right.
Right. Yeah. Right. It just he's told some other horror stories as well.
But people can have left place in disgusting shambles.
I think there's where she like goes back, collects Sophie, and it would be kind of funny. I was picturing all the lost limbs sewn on Sophie, where she pushes gets her, and then pushes.
I'm just like, how the fuck would Sophie not bleed out?
Yeah.
Right? That's my thought too.
Suspension of disbelief.
Well, I mean true.
I don't even know how you would do a tourniquet on a shoulder.
Well, she still has this, from the elbow.
Yeah.
That's where because she cut her off, right here. Right above the elbow.
I thought it was at the shoulder, so...
No, it wasn't that high.
It didn't look like anyone had done a tourniquet when she was screaming on the floor.
No, it didn't.
No, she has some time to wait, you know.
Yeah.
She has some time to wait. It's not done right away.
20 minutes.
But if she does that where she grabs her, puts her in the trunk of the car, pushes her down to the hospital, and just imagine if she had all the arms,
just a bundle of limbs, just
just and it's Japan too. They just look at them, they're like, okay, it's Tuesday, or whatever.
Well, in a Tarantino verse of Japan, it's Tuesday.
It's Tuesday, yeah, true. True.
Or would it be the Junji Ito verse?
Yeah.
I saw on the internet somebody redrew some Junji Ito panels with King of the Hill characters for reasons.
I've seen some that I don't know if it's Junji Ito stuff, but I've seen like.
Is it a hole?
I saw
my hole. It was made for me.
I saw that one. His daggone, it was made for me. And daggone, it was. I saw one. Dale was turned into a snail.
Yeah.
And he was yelling for Hank to help him. Yeah.
Wow. Oh. Now, Bill is there in record amount of time, presumably so. And
how long does it take to get to Japan?
Yeah. Well,
we don't know where he is though.
Yeah. You assume he's in Mexico.
Yeah.
Oh.
No,
it could be anywhere.
Yeah, but
you assume that he's in Mexico because his home is in Mexico.
Yeah,
it is?
True.
Yes.
Yeah, true. And where he gets there, I actually remembered. I went back. I looked around at some of your stuff, Kaz, and I found the record of your flight from Tokyo back to Boston, and the time of the time when you took off from Tokyo. So when you landed in Boston, you landed 10 minutes before you took off.
Neat.
You know, which...
I just remember it's an excruciating long flight.
Yeah.
Well, I know that... I know that Korea is 13 hours ahead of us.
Yeah, which, when you called me the day after you landed, it was 3 minutes to midnight, so assuming it was about the same, roughly... But, this is where I'm thinking in my head, with you saying that about her getting beat up, like, she has time to heal on the plane.
Yeah.
Because by the time it reaches Alaska, she's gonna be it's gonna be okay. A little bit better. By the time she gets somewhere, presumably at this point, she's going somewhere to the desert or somewhere at least near Nevada.
Yeah.
At this point, because she, goes after others. But where she's talking about the wicked life, I just wanted to play a bit of this because this whole bit is awesome. Mm-hmm. And if you don't mind if I do that, everybody's okay with it.
Go for it.
If you had to guess why she left you alive, what would be your guess?
Guessing won't be necessary. She informed me. She said I could keep my wicked life for 2 reasons. As I said before, I've allowed you to keep your wicked life for 2 reasons. And the second reason is so you can tell him in person everything that happened here tonight. I want him to witness the extent of my mercy by witnessing your deformed body. I want you to tell him all the information you just told me. I want him to know what I know. I want him to know. I want him to know. And I want them all to know. They'll all soon be as dead as a wren.
Okay, Josh, you and I are synced too well right now, because her and I were just lipping the whole thing. Is that alright?
It's not like I've never seen this movie or anything.
Yeah, like you can commit to memory.
Oh, Christ.
It just hits perfect. Now, as you go a little forward, you see this happen. She's writing out the death list.
Yep.
Of Renetta Green, Oranishi, Renetta Green, Haley Driver, Bud, and then Bill.
Bud, no last name given.
Yeah. And then Bill. And it doesn't need to be. Everybody said, we're ready to go. Let's do it.
Yep.
And I'm sorry, it's Bud, Haley Driver, and then Bill. Where you have this very last bit of where the ending credits, my dear Sophie, is she aware that her daughter is still alive? And that hit so hard. I remember Kaz and I were laying on the couch watching this. I'm like, wait, what? Wait a minute.
I remember sitting in the theater going, time out. Huh?
Yeah.
I was just wondering if Bill, with his soft talking and gentle caressing of Sophie, was going to horribly murder her or something.
Yeah.
Right, like he was gonna like break her neck right there or something.
Yeah.
You know?
He didn't, though.
Nope.
Yeah, but
I like when bad guys have contrast like that. Like, oh, his voice is so soothing.
Yeah.
For villain.
It shows why it works.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it hit me so that this movie, again, I'm sounding like a broken record, but this is Tarantino's masterpiece. This really is a beautifully well done thing. Every single frame is awesome. Although we can fuck that all up with fantasy casting. Incredibly well. So why don't we go ahead and do that? We're going to tell you about 4041 Media for a little bit, and we'll come back with some fantasy casting. Hey everybody, thanks so much for listening.
Movie Theater Time Machine is a part of the 4041 Media Group with podcasts like Sake Your Crime and Free Your Geek, which you can check out at 4041media.com. That's all squished together one word, and the numbers are written as numbers.
Now it's time to tell us what you think. If you got an opinion or wanted to know what's coming up next,
find us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram by searching for Movie Theater Time Machine.
Now our podcast will always be free to subscribe and share.
But if you'd like to help us build a bigger, better podcast, not to mention our confidence, you can find merchandise designed by me, Kaz, at Zazzle. Or check out the Kaz Foxen's Animal Shop at Zazzle for cute animal gifts and pet supplies.
Thanks so much, and back to the show.
Okay, that song is amazing. It's the song that shows up at the beginning with the feature presentation, and I ended up hearing it again in Saints Row 3 and 4 in the Let's Play or Let's Imagine.
Let's Pretend.
The
Let's Pretend clothing store.
It has a remixed version of it, and so I had to go. I liked a lot of those songs, and I had to go find what they were mixed from. So that one there's two versions.
Funky Fanfare is what I just played.
Yeah, and there's another version that I don't know if it's older or something, but I was years ago when I picked it. I found it on YouTube. Somebody playing a record by the Keith Mansfield Orchestra, and that version is called Soul Thing, which is more piano-y and an ad. But yeah, so that's what that is. It's apparently something called library music.
It's also sampled in the song "Old School" from Danger Doom. That's a collaboration between MF Doom and Danger Mouse. Nice. It was a whole album based around Adult Swim properties.
I'm just waiting on these stupid commercials. Like, oh, there we go.
We'll get there.
And a dog. Let me get back to. It's more piano-y. One of my favorites. So yeah, look up Keith Mansfield if you. Unfortunately, that's like the coolest song on that record that you can find a couple YouTube videos on. One's sped up a little bit, I think, and the other one isn't. But the other songs aren't as awesome. That sucks. I hate that.
Okay, fantasy casting. It's going to be tough with this movie, but I got one.
Oh, I got.
Yeah.
Okay, what do we got?
I know I have one. I think I have two but my brain isn't.
Would you like me to go first?
Okay.
Okay. So the character of Sophie Fatale is played by the actress Julia Dreyfus. Mm-hmm. And the first thing that occurred to me if it was Julia Louis-Dreyfus.
Oh my God.
You have
in the land of the three named people.
Yeah, it was Julia Louis-Dreyfus, and she's playing the character of Elaine, who is the lawyer.
Oh, God.
And just trying to fit in. And when everybody starts dancing, let me roll for a moment.
Oh, my God.
Kicking her heels.
Yeah, 30.
Oh, God.
So,
Jesus.
where you have this, and it's just the beauty part of it is because people have compared Seinfeld to Tarantino sometimes, where it's like a tamer version of some of his movies, because there's a similarity to it. He puts good in with terrible people. Like,
so his movies are basically It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia with blood and gangsters?
With blood, these are terrible people. Like,
so where does Rickety Cricket go in this movie? You want to shoot
Rickety Cricket is probably Charlie Brown, the waiter.
God.
Yeah, but where you have this life, I'm talking generally, but Seinfeld and Always Sunny in Philadelphia, you kind of have some similarities, but. So I'd say Julia Louis-Dreyfus is the lawyer who is playing Elaine, who got overshadowed but over her head a little bit because it was an easy gig, or so she thought, and then is trying to get out of it.
From writing fashion catalog descriptions to lawyering.
Yeah, to try and it'd be good. Somebody's trying to be.
I could write that. Or publishing. She worked in publishing, right?
Yeah. Now I got stuck and I'm working for the Yakuza.
Oh, God. And I want to see Kramer show up and talk about some kind of fuck up involving the Yakuza.
Yeah. The Yakuza found him with one of my friend Lomez.
and he suddenly has a gigantic back tattoo. He doesn't know where he got it.
Kramer, what's going on in there? The Yakuza's got him, Jerry. But that's the only one I have because it's...
Puns.
God, this casting is so good.
That's why you gotta go for the funny ideas.
Yeah.
Shit, now that I'm in the hot seat, my brain doesn't work.
Don't worry, we won't stare and wait it for you.
Oh, I don't know. I don't know what else I'd say.
This isn't uncomfortable at all.
But I felt like I was... With the whole, oh no, the mentor's student went bad. That reminded me of Kung Fu Panda.
They have Poe in this somewhere.
Well, with Tai Lung and Would-Be Bill, I guess.
Yeah.
So, does that mean all the good guy animals would be the Deadly Viper Assassin Squad?
I mean, one of them is a Viper.
Yeah.
So,
wait, who was the voice? Was
Lucy Liu, I'm pretty sure.
Oh!
Yeah.
So she's all red.
Yeah.
Wait, what?
Is Poe the bride?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure the snake was Lucy Liu.
Yeah.
I gotta look this up.
Oh God, Jack likes the bride.
I'm just wondering how the plot... He wasn't pregnant, he just had to take a big dump.
He had a food baby.
Oh God.
Kyle Gass is in this somehow. Kyle Gass from Tenacious D.
Yeah.
I know where you were going with that.
It was Lucy Liu as Viper.
Okay, now
works.
Lucy Liu. Now I'm thinking of Futurama and Bender, and I don't know how to cram all this shit in there.
Oh God.
So I don't know. It's an IKEA joke. Make your own damn joke.
Yeah.
And apparently Wayne Knight and Kyle Gass were also in.
Yes, they were.
They were in Kung Fu Panda too.
Yes.
So it all crosses over, I guess.
Yeah.
So
their fantasy casting pretty much already happened.
I think I had another one that I can't remember now. Do you remember any of the jokes I made?
Not particularly. Shit. Sorry. Yeah, but yeah. The only one I had, I mean, I put these movies on this movie.
I can't.
On a pedestal.
It's on a pedestal for me.
Yeah,
I can't do it.
It really can't even be funny with this.
No, I can't. I couldn't even. I can't make jokes in it. Like I can't even do that.
Yeah.
I really can't. It's impossible.
Yeah.
At least this movie is anyway.
Probably if I might think of it like when it's too late because.
I can't do it. I can't.
Yeah.
I love it too much. I can't do it. Sorry, guys. I just can't.
Clint Eastwood shows up somewhere. Some of the music, the trumpets remind me of like Western kind of Mexican trumpet kind of music.
Yeah, and you're thinking of Ennio Morricone.
Yeah.
Weirdly enough, in Kill Bill Volume 2, I'll have an easier time.
Yeah, it's more prominent there.
Oh, very much so.
It's the What if you had the Looney Tunes Orchestra do the Foley for this instead of the Wu-Tang Clan? But you have
what would the sword sound like?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, there was kind of a Looney Tunes Foley moment.
Yeah. The Looney Tune moment.
When Go-Go gets the chair leg implanted in the side of her head, you hear bowling pins fall over.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You do hear bowling pins fall over.
Yeah.
You do.
See, stuff like that is kind of unexpected, but kind of keeps things fresh.
Yeah.
It's weird.
You'll have more of that with Pai Mei.
Yeah.
You end up having a lot more of that with Pai Mei.
Pai Mei is one of the funniest characters.
He is.
And it's kind of a drawback to the Bruce Lee movies where last week were...
You just want to flick a... Didn't you grow a beard?
You just want to flick... Yeah, you just want to flick your beard.
I did partly grow my beard. I had my beard down.
Dan is looking very confused right now because he has no clue what he's about to walk into.
I had my beard down to my chest at one point because I wanted to do the Pai Mei flick. And then it drove me crazy and I had to cut it off.
You do know that Pai Mei is played by the same character who's played by, what's his name? The second in command.
This is some Inception going on.
Johnny Mo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're the
same person,
the same person.
Yeah. Yeah. So, Kill Bill Volume 1, I always say for this, I think we all kind of say this is a damn
love
one.
this
This is a damn fine movie.
This is so good.
Love
Now,
this movie.
Volume 2 might round it out for me and make this my favorite Tarantino movie, but I'm still going to say Reservoir Dogs is still my favorite.
Yeah. It is. I would say just let's wait for it, see how it ends.
Okay.
But there is it's the opposite of the paintball episode of Community, where Abed says here, it's like, yeah, it seems like we're dropping the Western motif and going Star Wars.
Star Wars, yes.
Yeah, it's like, I know, I was waiting for it too.
Okay, I'm surprised you didn't fantasy cast Community and put Britta as the bride.
I couldn't. I couldn't. It just like she'd fuck up the whole thing and end up dead.
Would. Yeah.
I really
She'd be
couldn't.
very, very morally opposed to assassinating.
Yeah.
She would just fuck up everything.
No,
that's what Britta does.
Yeah, I couldn't do it. Like, but
you'd have more fun with Shirley.
Yeah. Fine, look at Makusa, but I'll tell you one more thing you need to find is Jesus.
She would be O-Ren.
Yeah.
Shirley would just be O-Ren.
I'm telling you, you'd have more fun with Shirley than with Britta.
Yeah, true. Yeah, because she is funnier.
Although I wonder how Annie would be as the Yakuza boss.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Everybody's played by Abed, I guess.
Abed's the bride, man.
He's everybody. He's pulling the strings. He's acting the role.
Yeah.
Abed's the bride. I win.
I made a Bridezilla character in City of Heroes who's a giant lizard, and I put her in that, she has a flame sword, and I put her in that yellow black stripe outfit thing.
That was good. Yeah. That was good.
That's pretty awesome.
Alright, so
guess what we're doing next week?
Yeah. We are going to round this one out. I will tell you, next week we have Kill Bill 2. We have a look at a newer version of The Karate Kid, also looking back at the old one at the same time.
But then you'd probably get busy gushing about Cobra Kai.
Well, there's part of that while we're here, and also our last movie, which I have kept a little secret. We have James Hong, Seth Rogen, Jackie Chan.
I fucking knew it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh.
Yeah.
I was putting two and two together. I'm like, wait.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, yeah, you're probably guessing what it is, right? Go ahead and say it.
Kung Fu Panda.
You're damn right, it's Kung Fu Panda. Yeah.
You said James Hong, and it's like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
Because last week I was looking up
Where was
like
Seth
James
Rogen
Hong
in
stuff.
Yeah.
He was Mantis.
Yeah.
Oh.
Mantis and all. Yeah. No, actually, he came in later on, but he was one of the monkeys in the village.
Oh.
David Cross was Mantis.
I thought he was clean.
Yeah. No.
Huh.
No.
All right.
But still, it's to round it out perfectly. This is why we want to do this. So we'll tell you keep it good here because go see this one because these movies are classic. Be good, take care of yourself, but don't be too good.
Oh my.